put it this way.
This surge of untrained, aggressive federal agents are going to leave Minnesota.
I'm Michael Wallace. Border Czar Tom Homan made the announcement.
I have proposed, and President Trump has concurred, that this surge operation conclude.
He declared the surge a success, despite the protests and shooting deaths of 2 civilians.
There are some issues here. We fixed those issues. We've had great success with this operation, and we're leaving Minnesota safer.
Homan says Minnesota is now less of a sanctuary state for criminals. He denied reports that agents have arrested immigrants inside hospitals, elementary schools, and churches.
Chairing a Senate hearing, Kentucky Republican Rand Paul says more information is needed about the deaths of 3 people during the ICE surge in Minnesota.
State and local officials tell one story. Federal officials tell another story. Depending on the media source, the public may hear only one side. The hearing today, though, is to evaluate the facts and not to defend any one particular narrative.
Now to Arizona, where authorities are going through thousands of tips in the Nancy Guthrie case. CBS's Andres Gutierrez says there's been a new online family post.
Savannah Guthrie has posted yet another Instagram clip, this one 22 seconds long, in which there is a caption that says, "Our lovely mom, we will never give up on her. Thank you for your prayers and hope." And it goes along with some home videos of Nancy essentially with her kids there.
CBS's Jason Allen is in El Paso, Texas, where questions swirl the day after the airport and airspace were closed for hours amid word of Mexican cartel drones and an apparent U.S. laser test.
This, we understand from sources, is a high-energy laser weapon that they had been working on in training, and that Border Patrol, even in recent days, had used it to take out a drone, or in one circumstance, something that may have ended up being a balloon.
On the Health Watch, new research finds exercise trains the brain to build endurance. Study author Nicholas Betley.
In addition to your muscles building, the circuit in your brain that encodes this adaptation and the ability to recover also strengthens. So it gets bigger and stronger with exercise.
We're hearing from some of the 19 Buddhist monks who just finished a walk for peace from Texas to the nation's capital. They're in Annapolis today, the leader urging daily mindfulness.
Peace will be with us when we practice this.
And checking Wall Street right now, a downturn for the markets. The Dow is off more than 500 points. The S&P is down 60. This is CBS News.
Go to the ends of the earth, half a world away. Reach for the stars.
If I take time to think, they might go get Brad.
On CBS, Sunday morning.
A major settlement in a Seattle police case. We'll tell you about that in just a moment. But first, we're going to check KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. And we're struggling a little bit this morning. Not the light traffic we saw yesterday. I-5 in and out of Seattle is backed up. I-5 northbound backed up to all the way South Beacon Hill. And it's taking Federal Way to Seattle about 36 minutes. I don't see anything blocking there, just high volumes at this point of the day. Southbound drive, we do have a crash, it looks like, in just north of North 145th, and that is starting to have a backup behind it. And that's not helping the backup that already went to 145th. Linwood to Seattle, 62 minutes. Bothell to Bellevue on 405 southbound, 20 minutes. Renton to Bellevue, 26 minutes. The good news is that the lake bridges are still doing very well. This report brought to you by KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. The family of a graduate student hit and killed by a Seattle police officer has settled with the city. Genevieve Kandula was thrown more than 100 feet when she was hit by the cruiser in the middle of a crosswalk. Her family demanded criminal charges, and protests erupted when a leader in the police union was caught on body camera saying this about her.
$11,000. She was 26 anyway. She had limited value.
That officer was fired, and so was the officer who hit Kandula. Both have appealed those decisions. It took 2 spike strips at a pit maneuver to stop a fleeing driver in Mason County Tuesday night. Mason County Sheriff's deputies say they tried to pull the car over in Shelton, but it didn't stop. They had to call in State Patrol and Shelton Police for backup as the driver ran over spike strips and still tried to speed away with all 4 tires flat. Finally, a deputy disabled that vehicle with a pit maneuver, and the driver was arrested. It's hard to believe it's all over.
Go Hawks, baby!
And King County prosecutor Lisa Mannion is thanking fans for celebrating responsibly during the Super Bowl parade.
I want to give a major shout out to the Seattle Police Department. All of their careful and thoughtful planning really helped.
Mannion says if this is a preview of what we can expect during the World Cup this summer, then the city has a lot to celebrate indeed. The Boeing IMAX Theater at Pacific Science Center is getting a new owner, but don't worry, staying local. PacSci has reached a deal to sell the theater to the Space Needles LLC. The sale includes almost 25% of the northeast corner of PacSci's campus. The Puget Sound Business Journal reports the deal is expected to close in the next few weeks. Now getting a check on your weather. We are going to have clouds thickening up throughout the day, a high of 52. Rain tomorrow and Saturday with a break on Sunday. It is 39 degrees in downtown Seattle right now. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, y'all, your boy is back. I'm back for a while. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Ursula, good morning to you.
Good morning. Welcome back to the studio. What you been up to?
Man, come on now. Sleep.
Oh, my gosh, you've had a week.
By the way, come on. Hey, Texers, listen, y'all. Your boy was tired this morning, and this is the truth. This morning, when 3:30 went off, when that alarm went off, I was like, I think I'm going to have to call in. Here's one of the number one reasons why I didn't call in. And I'm being serious. I didn't call in because, well, I was going to call in because I was tired. But I didn't call in because I knew that our listeners would be like, come on, G. After the parade, we need to know what was going on, all that stuff. So I wanted to come back today. But I feel better now. I'm good. Yeah, I'm good.
Good. Well, I mean, the city of Seattle did throw a big, fat party for the Seahawks and all of us 12s.
Yeah.
Somehow, though, it still felt very personal. And you were right in the middle of the championship parade, and you told me what you saw brought tears to your eyes.
It did.
So I asked you if you could do us a story time coming up at 9:30.
Yeah, 9:30.
So you're going to want to hear that one. Stick around for that. Muckleshoot Casino and Resort text line is 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO.
Ursula, two things I want to say. One, I need the text line to text me. Y'all, come on now. I missed y'all. 888-973-5476, Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. Two, Ursula, it seemed like I ain't been here at work in the studio, but I swear, my lights is not DEI friendly. I have not been getting the lights. What happened? There used to be more of a spotlight on me. I look way too dark right there. Come on, the folks can't see me.
In defense, that monitor is way darker than what it looks like in real time. It's something with the TV. You look nice and bright.
Okay. Oh, do I look nice and bright?
You look nice and bright.
I was about to say, man, I was going a lawsuit.
I'm just glad you're here safe and okay, because we were hearing stories about you having those sea legs on that tundra back there. Too many guys in the back.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Story time.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
First top stories of the day brought to you by Pendergast Law.
Well, it was a day that is forever going to be etched in our memory.
See!
Now, Seattle threw a party for hundreds of thousands of Seahawks fans, and it's important to point out, G, that no one got arrested.
Go Hawks, baby!
Okay. Yeah. I mean, downtown was a sea of neon green and blue. 12s were packed 4th Avenue, shoulder to shoulder for the Super Bowl celebration. We've learned now that nearly 13,000 Seattle students skipped school. Hallways were described as graveyards, substitute teachers everywhere, teachers quietly admitting they kind of knew this was going to happen, but the district saying absences were not excused. But of course, for the families who took their kids there, they said this was once in a generation memory. Now, I don't want to steal the thunder of your story time at 9:30.
Ursula, there's so many stories to tell. I mean, you talked about the Seattle public schools. They talked about that. I guess it was basically 1 in 4 kids decided to not go to school and go to the parade. Look, education matters, routine matters, but you want to know what else matters? Community. So if your child was there, they got to see one of the most beautiful days in Seattle history. They got to see unity. They got to see pride. They got to see peace. They got to see brothers and sisters hanging out, families and loved ones, strangers high-fiving. They got to see it all. So the next time the district says, where was Larry? Why wasn't he here? Well, Larry was on a field trip. He was on a citywide field trip and learning some civic duties, watching history. How about that?
But they need to give the same energy when the kids walk out of class because they want to protest something else and show their civic energy, right?
Yeah, right. Right.
Okay, we won't go there. You heard in Jillian's newscast that Seattle taxpayers are paying a record level price for a tragedy that sparked outrage around the world.
Yeah.
The city's now going to pay $29 million to settle a negligence lawsuit filed by the family of 23-year-old graduate student Janavi Kandala, who was killed in 2023 while crossing a South Lake Union Street. Officer Kevin Dave was the one who was driving. He was driving 74 miles an hour in a 25 zone, and he was responding to an OD call when he hit her in a crosswalk. So he was cited for negligent driving. He was fined $5,000, and then later he was fired, but he was never criminally charged, which was a decision that really made her family very angry.
Right.
But then the case intensified after another officer, Daniel Otterer, was caught on body cam joking with the head of the police union, Mike Solon, about Kandala's death.
Yeah, just write a check. Yeah, $11,000. She was 26 anyway. She had limited value.
Now, Daniel Otterer was also fired, and now, do you know, he is also suing the city of Seattle for $25 million.
Yeah, Ursula, you know, this is one of those things where we are so used to hearing about lawsuits, so much so that we all know the routine. Unfortunately, you heard the awfulness in that voice about just cut him a check. It was really bad. But we all know that the taxpayers are on the hook for these things. So I guess what my question is for people is, do we want to keep seeing the same thing happen over and over again? Or at some point, are we going to want some type of reform to certain policies? Is it time to start to look at qualified immunity? That case. And if you guys are wondering what that is, I got the definition ready for you. Qualified immunity is a legal doctrine that protects government officials, including police officers, from being personally sued for money damages unless they violated clearly established constitutional rights. Now, for someone to win a lawsuit against an officer, they usually have to show that a court has already ruled in a very similar situation that conduct was unconstitutional. So if there isn't a closely matching prior case, the officer is often shielded from personal liability. So, Ursula, I just put this to you and everyone else. Is it ever going to be a time that we are going to re-look at qualified immunity, or are we going to keep things the same? Because if we're going to keep things the same, I'd argue that whenever these things happen, they're going to go after the money, which is the city of Seattle, and it's going to be repeating the same thing over and over again.
Well, I think you're right. And the reason why there's always going to be a pushback when it comes to getting rid of qualified immunity, I mean, would it make the job of being, for example, a police officer that much more difficult if you have to worry about anything that you do could be something that you are personally liable for, not just the city or the entity that you work for? And I think that there are many, many great reasons to get rid of it, because I think that it is something that can be abused. But it's one of those situations where I can also see the argument for why you would keep it. In the case of this, I mean, this was a tragic story that was made even worse by the callous nature of how some officers reacted to it. Officer Kevin Dave, that was one thing. He was driving way over the speed limit on an overdose call, and again, not criminally charged, but I mean, his actions resulted in a death. So I understand why the city will pay close to $30 million to settle that. But now this officer, Daniel Otterer, who was caught on body cam, just acting and sounding very callous, for him to want to go after the city for $25 million, I hope that the city fights that.
Yeah.
And doesn't just roll over and say, okay, yeah, we're going to pay you out too.
Yeah, agree. Now, before we go on, do doctors have qualified immunity? No, they don't. So just wanted to remind everybody of that. And also wanted to just show love to Mike and Marvin. Mike and Marvin listen to the show. All right, what else? What's the next topic you got for us, Ursula?
Well, did you see that yell fest in the other Washington yesterday?
What happened?
So Congress was questioning the Justice Department about the handling of the Jeffrey Epstein files. But Attorney General Pam Bondi's appearance turned into a shouting match almost immediately.
With several Epstein survivors sitting behind her, Bondi told the committee she is fighting for them. Washington Democratic Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal asked Bondi to turn around and apologize to the victims for never meeting with them and failing to redact some of their names and photos from the Epstein files.
Mr. Chairman,
why
I have asked
didn't she ask Merrick Garland this?
I am reclaiming my time, and when I reclaim my time,
Mr.
Chairman, the gentlelady has reclaimed her time.
I'm not going to get in the gutter for her theatrics.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
But Gee, it only escalated from there. At one point, Bondi went after Maryland Congressman Jamie Raskin, calling him a washed-up loser lawyer. We're going to go more in depth on this at 10 because you've got to hear some of the exchanges. But I know that in the midst of all our parade coverage, et cetera, this was happening.
Yeah, this was. I was talking to my good buddy Chris at the gym this morning before we're leaving. We always give what's a good word. And, Ursula, I actually think that this Epstein deal has staying power. I think that technology has really, really made it to where this isn't going away. Now, unfortunately, it went away for way too long when it first was exposed back there when he made the sweetheart deal back in, I think it was 2006 in Florida. We all know what happened with that. But today, I don't think it's going away. I think too many people can't say that, kids don't matter. There's this really a social contract that we all have no matter what your political affiliation is. No matter your background, where you're from, your age, gender, doesn't matter. We can all agree that adults protecting kids, the kids that, we want to protect their innocence, the kids that usually can't afford to buy things, we pay things for them. And I think we're finally at that time because so many times in America, we have seen entities and organizations and people just do the wrong things by kids. You guys remember USA Gymnastics? Remember Larry Nassar, right? Remember the Boy Scouts of America? Remember the Catholic Church? Remember Michigan State and all that? Oh, I could do this to her blue in the face. Enough is enough because it's wild to me because during Bad Bunny, and Ursula, I think you guys were talking about it when you and Greg Tomlin. During Bad Bunny, people were saying, well, I didn't have anything wrong with the Bad Bunny performance, but, there was some gyration that was happening. And what about the kids? It's funny, right? People pick and choose the what about the kids conversation. The same people that talk about all of the crime that happens downtown Seattle, the same people that gets on here and has talked about, they spend their time talking about, I don't want men playing girls' sports. By the way, I don't either. I just want to say that. But they use their platform to demonize the trans community. I find it funny. I find it funny that they never say anything about the Epstein files. They care so much about kids, but they are silent about the Epstein files. Why? Why are they silent about that? Why do they pick and choose which kids they want to protect? I want to protect all kids. I don't care if they mama and daddy's MAGA, MAGA kids, non-MAGA kids, Christian kids, non-Christian kids, brown kids, black kids, white kids. I want to protect all kids. Can we all get on that same page?
You nailed it, G. I mean, and the question is, because a lot of what I heard during yesterday's testimony was, well, why wasn't this a problem when Merrick Garland was there? Why wasn't it a problem when it should have been a problem from day one? And what is going to be exposed and what is continuing to be exposed with the more and more we see from these Epstein files is that a lot of people knew about a lot of wrongdoing against children, and they turned a blind eye, and that includes people in the highest levels of power and people who had the ability to do something about it, and they didn't.
Preach, Ursula. And by the way, there was a few emails that was sent to my boss recently, and I told my boss I said what I said, so I want to say it again. There's a lot of folks out there, they're either a pedophile or a pedophile protector. Either way.
And if you look and read what's in these files, you will agree with G. So when Seattle hosts the World this summer, it's not just fans and flags showing up. Federal immigration agents are going to be here as well. ICE officials told Congress that they're going to be part of the security operation for the 2026 FIFA World Cup, including the 6 matches at Lumen Field starting on June 15th. And they say this is typical for big, huge international events. And their goal is to help with intelligence and cross-border crime prevention, and it's not aimed at everyday spectators. April Putney is with Seattle's FIFA Organizing Committee.
They have responsibilities in terms of preventing human trafficking and things like that, and that is the way that they are showing up there, and so that's what we're expecting to happen here.
But the announcement that ICE is going to be here for the World Cup is already raising concerns from some community groups who worry that the presence alone could scare off visitors or local families, especially, of course, as the U.S. is ramping up immigration enforcement all across the country. But it's important to point out that immigration agents were also at the Super Bowl recently, and there were no reports of any fan arrests. And I'm going to guess, G, I mean, you were there. You probably didn't notice anything.
Didn't notice. But I'll tell you what I did notice. I noticed that I've been doing a show with Ursula for 6 years. And in doing a show with Ursula for 6 years, I've learned one thing that I got to be very, very accurate with my news. I noticed I gotta make sure I have my sources. So you know what I did? I did a little research. And by the way, I'm done doing research for the rest of the month. But here you go. I did this little bit of research. Let's talk about ICE. The fiscal period of ICE. Let's see what they've done from late 2025 to early 2026. Wait, what do you know? ICE has booked over 42,000 people into detention, with 37,842 arrested directly by ICE and the rest of Customs and Border Protection. You ready for this breakdown? Here we go. The majority of people that ICE has detained do not have a criminal conviction. Around 74% of detainees had no criminal conviction at the time that they were held. In some internal enforcement data sets, roughly 40% of recent ICE arrests involve people with no criminal record whatsoever. So I just want you guys to just know this. When you guys hear and think about what ICE is doing, ICE is not, they're not showing up necessarily to bad neighborhoods. They're showing up to work. They're showing up to schools. They're showing up to where people are sleeping. So you ever wonder why 74% of the detainees have no criminal conviction? Because they're not really going to try to find the bad people. They're just literally set out to find brown people. And this is why ICE operations, they're all leaving Minnesota right now. Why did they leave Minnesota? Because they were successful? No, they left Minnesota because, man, 2 people are dead, right? And the whole community has been villainized and are scared. And by the way, it's not just the brown kids. It's not just Latino kids that are scared. Other kids everybody's scared.
Yeah. Yeah, and we'll get into some of that as well coming up in the 10 o'clock hour. But At 9:33, after the newscast, you're going to do some story time because I want to hear what got you kind of tearing up yesterday.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we do some good stuff today. Coming up, we'll do that next. I got some story for you. There's one scene yesterday that really, it's on my Instagram. It's the most beautiful picture ever. I'll tell it next. Gee Ursula.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
If you've been injured in a car accident, you have two choices. Handle everything yourself or hire an experienced attorney. Go it alone, and you'll be on the phone with insurance adjusters, chasing medical records, fighting for lost wages, and trying to figure out what your case is really worth. Hire the right attorney, and they take all that off your plate so you can focus on getting better. Harold Carr Law Offices has a dedicated team of 48 people and more than 35 years of experience handling car accident cases right here in our community. Harold Carr Law Offices handles big cases and small ones while still treating their clients like family. Here's the difference they make. They save you time, reduce your stress, and get you significantly more money than you'd ever get on your own. Harold Carr Law Offices fights for you at no out-of-pocket cost to you. If you're in a car accident, call them right away. Visit carlaw.com. 2 R's in car. Car accident? Call CAR.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55. But unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
You know, it's frustrating. You work your tail off for 40 plus years. The government takes 30 or 40% in taxes. Then they turn right around and waste it. Americans are getting fed up, and that's why they're taking advantage of tax planning. Charlie Harger here. Tax planning could significantly reduce your taxes, not just for 1 year, but for the rest of your life. Learn how much you could save in taxes when you retire with free retirement tax savings analysis from Boss Retirement Solutions. If you've saved more than $300,000, schedule your free analysis now by calling 206-210-1350. Don't pay the government one more dime than you need to. You need to call the team at Boss Retirement Solutions. Call 206-210-1350. 206-210-1350.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice.
Ever wonder how much energy it takes to power your life? Streaming shows, running appliances, even using AI to plan your next trip?
A lot, and it's growing fast.
So we need more energy, and it has to be clean and reliable.
Exactly. That's why Energy Northwest is exploring new ways to keep power flowing sustainably to meet the rising demand.
All this new technology is exciting, but we need the energy to keep up.
And Energy Northwest is making it happen.
Where do I learn more?
Energy-Northwest.com.
Energy Northwest, powering our clean energy future.
If you've been sitting in traffic long enough to finish a podcast and question your life choices, it's time to flip your trip. Right Transit. find a park and ride, or roll past stress on a bike or scooter. Free yourself from traffic jams at flipyourtrip.org.
At Subaru of Puyallup, enjoy a truly stress-free shopping and buying experience. Friendly experts, transparent pricing, and genuine care. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event through March 31st, enjoy extra savings. Visit your stress-free dealership today. SubaruofPuyallup.com.
This President's Day, Pure Talk is honoring Jackson and Lincoln by offering unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month. Meanwhile, Big Wireless is honoring Benjamin Franklin by charging families hundreds of dollars for the same 5G service. What's up with that? Ben Franklin wasn't even a president. When you switch to Pure Talk, you'll be in business with an American wireless company that supports our vets in a big way and keeps all their customer service in this country. That's important. And you'll be on the same towers the big carriers use, so you'll get the same 5G service without the inflated price. So hang on to your Benjamins and switch to Pure Talk for a Jackson and a Lincoln. No contract, no hidden fees. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and you'll get 50% off your first month when you switch. That's pound 250, Mike Rowe, for an American wireless company that is truly unprecedented. Pure Talk.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Frank Lindsay. Confirmed today the end of the immigration crackdown in Minnesota.
Border czar Tom Homan made the announcement.
I have proposed, and President Trump has concurred, that this surge operation conclude.
He declared the surge a success, despite the protests and shooting deaths of 2 civilians.
There are some issues here. We fixed those issues. We've had great success with this operation, and we're leaving Minnesota safer.
Homan says Minnesota is now less of a sanctuary state for criminals. He denied reports that agents have arrested immigrants inside hospitals, elementary schools, and churches. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
ICE will be in Seattle for the World Cup this summer. That confirmed in a congressional hearing this week. April Putney is part of Seattle's FIFA organizing committee and says she was on a call with White House representatives who said their presence will be a lot like at the Super Bowl.
I was on a call with the White House task force, and they really wanted to make a point to us. It was all of the 11 U.S. cities to say, you know, you will see federal folks at the Super Bowl, but just because there are folks there from ICE or Customs and Border, it doesn't mean that they are there as a part of an immigration action.
The Super Bowl hype certainly isn't over. In Olympia, lawmakers are considering a bill that would make the 12th of December the Day of the 12s. Representative Charlotte Mena of Tacoma, one of the sponsors.
Coach McDonald has praised the 12s as part of the team creating what he called, and I'm quoting him, I'm not saying this, freaking awesome electric atmosphere.
Now being considered by the Senate. Seattle Parks Foundation asking for $12 from the 12s. They say Super Bowl celebrations over the past week damaged public spaces and parks, in particular Pioneer Square's historic pergola. On Sunday, fans climbed up and shattered some of the dozens of glass panels along the top. Wall Street right now, the Dow is down 607 points, NASDAQ is off 358, and the S&P is down 82. KIRO News Radio traffic. We have some slowing on 405 through the Renton area. Linwood to Seattle right now take you about an hour, normally about 45 minutes. Bothell to Bellevue, a little heavy right now, about 27 minutes. Normally that'll take you about 20. This traffic report brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. It's home show season. Lake Washington Windows and Doors is giving you 20% off plus 12 months, same as cash financing. Visit them at the home shows or lakewashingtonwindows.com. Weather forecast calling for clouds late this morning, then partial clearing in the afternoon, a high of 52. For your Friday, showers early on. That will turn into pretty steady rain later in the day, up to 48 degrees. Right now, we are at 40 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. Around this time yesterday, Gee, you were in the midst of getting ready for the big celebration for the Seahawks trophy championship event, and then also getting ready for the parade. But there was something that stood out, and you posted about it on Facebook, and I could just feel the love in that post, and I wanted to ask you about it. And I said, can you do story time?
Yeah, thank you. You know, I would say between my wife and Ursula, if I asked them Hey, you remember when I told you this story? They usually know because they probably the people that talk to me the most every single day. Most people don't no, Gee, you're boring. But there's a story that I always tell, and maybe you listen and maybe you guys remember. It's from my childhood. And one of my most favorite stories ever was the time on 55th down in Chicago by my grandmother's house. Was one summer day. It was extremely hot out. And the police officers, they undid the fire hydrants so the water would come out. And the police officers were playing in the water with us. And it is by far my most memorable day as a kid. And so I told you last night, I said, hey, Ursula, you remember that time? And you said, yeah. And I said, well, yesterday in Seattle was that moment. I don't know that I'll ever beat that moment. It is by far my most favorite day in Seattle. Well, let's set the scene. Yes, there was a parade. Yes, there was a Super Bowl when the Seattle Seahawks beat the New England Patriots for Super Bowl 60. Everybody's great. But what made yesterday so special was the people, right? I'm talking about strangers, friends, loved ones, all together, collectively, to celebrate one thing. There was a moment yesterday. I mean, it's like, oh, it was so awesome seeing all the people, seeing the signs, seeing people dancing. It was just so great. But there was a moment when we're going through, I put it on my social media, when there was a 7-Eleven. And at the 7-Eleven, people were on top of the 7-Eleven dancing. People were down below. And in the background, you could see the Space Needle. And
I know exactly the 7-Eleven.
It was a perfectly sunny day, and it was love. You had everybody there. You had SPD, law enforcement. They're there. They're smiling, laughing. It was just the moment, right? And it was, and I've said this, it reminds me how often we talk about everything that's so wrong. But yesterday in Seattle, we were reminded about what's right. You know, and so we have been like kind of like a narrative across the country where people have called and said a whole bunch of bad things about Seattle. And what connected me to that, hear me out for a second. I hope I don't get emotional on this.
I hope you do.
There's a lot of people still to this day that talk how bad Seattle is and all of its bad parts. And you know the streets. They'll tell you about that street. There are people, content creators, that go out here and they film people that are unhoused. They film people that are having bad times in their lives. And they want to tell the world how awful Seattle is, right? And the connection I have to that is there used to be a time in my life where people would tell others how awful I was, including family members of mine used to tell people how awful I was. So the redemption that you get, not that you want to say, look at me now, but Seattle gets to say, look at us now. Look at how beautiful that we are. And I just hope that we can ride that for a long time here in Seattle, and I hope that we can remember big picture. Now, don't get me wrong, there's going to be some stuff that happens, and we're going to get back to normal routine and normal day life. But if we can remember for a moment that day, February 11th, 2026, how beautiful that it was, how beautiful we were at that time. And so Ursula, to be a part of it, I told David Burbank this today. When I got done, I got back to the stadium from the parade. I was walking. I was trying to find out where my wife was. And I said to myself as I was walking, I'll probably never have a day like that for the rest of my life. And I said that because Seahawks won the Super Bowl. The same organization that you guys know has given me my opportunity. I got an opportunity to MC the ceremony inside of the stadium. And then afterwards, I got a chance to ride on the Toyota Tundra in the parade. I'll never, like that, Like, that's it. That was that moment. That's the moment that I'm gonna be talking about forever. I'm gonna be in the old folks' home, and they'll be like, "Hey, Esther, stay away from room 101." Every time in room 101, he always wants to tell you the story about February 11, 2026, because I'm gonna be telling that damn story.
But it's never gonna get old, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because you are describing a situation, and I want to just add additional context to it, but you're describing a situation first at this time, at this juncture in our lives where we are so divided in this country. What you were witnessing and that thing where you said it reminded you of that best day of your childhood in Chicago, and you saw the police there and people dancing with jubilation on top of a 7-Eleven, and you know they shouldn't be on top there, but police were knowing like this is a special event, and we're just going to relax the rules a little bit. And we found out that no one had been arrested, and it was a beautiful time. But the whole thing is, we're so divided, and yet yesterday, all of that was suspended, and we were all together, just so happy with, the win, the parade, the celebration, just this moment in time, that it didn't matter what your politics were.
No.
Which is so freeing, first of all. But the other thing that I want to bring up, and I was thinking of this yesterday, as a number of people, so many of our listeners, so many of my friends were sending me pictures of you. And I told you that. I was like, oh, my God. It was like celebrity sightings. I was getting more pictures of you than I was of people seeing some of the football players.
Right.
And when you think of where you were, and I know you often bring it up and you don't shy away from sharing your story, which I think is so inspirational. But when you start from washing the cars of Seahawks players to where you are today in a matter of 10 years. I don't think you've reached the pinnacle. I know you're saying it's never going to be as good. I think it's just going to be one after another for you. Yeah. But, I am incredibly proud of you.
I believe that. So, instead of doing Would You Rather today, I want to answer and I want to comment to what you just said. Because I have something that my father said years ago that really makes sense now. Because you just made the comment about going from car washing to where I am now.
Yeah.
I want to comment on that. I really do.
And I know your dad.
No.
Is extremely proud.
I bet he would be. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So I got something for you. And the reason why I want to comment on this, Ursula, because what I want to comment on has to do with all of us. It has to do with, it was something I was saying to Sophia today, because we're talking about AI and what's happening and how to defeat AI. And I told Sophia, well, are we ready? Are we going to ever do that? So we'll share that next. Gee Ursula.
Seattle and the 12s throw a party or what?
They're thinking there could be up to 1 million 12s for this parade.
We're the best in the world! You hear me? Me and so many others remember taking my kid to the parade 12 years ago. And now another generation gets to share that.
Home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Hey, we not done. We coming back next year.
KIRO Newsradio.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
we meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
Hi, I'm Jen from Sky Nursery. If you're like me, you're itching to get out in the garden and get your hands in the soil. So check out Sky's full schedule of gardening events to help you get ready for spring. Learn about pruning fruit trees, tips for roses, a 2-day Wonders of Willow festival, hanging basket workshops, and more. Want to grow your own vegetables? I'll be sharing insights from 2 decades of veggie gardening in the Northwest. Anyone can do it. Learn more and get ready for spring at skynursery.com.
Our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn, understands the pressure that comes from owing money to the IRS. Don't let that pressure build. Call None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
If you're a Washington landlord, you've likely noticed things are changing. New rental laws, more rules, higher costs, and a lot less flexibility than before. John Curley here. Most landlords I talk to know some of their numbers like rent, mortgage, maybe the property value. But the numbers that really matter, taxes, vacancies, repairs, your time, and what it actually costs to exit someday. Those are often overlooked. And if you sell without a tax plan, the tax hit can be a nasty surprise. That's why Madrona Financial and CPAs are hosting 2 free in-person workshops for landlords who want clarity. They'll show you how to evaluate the true performance of your rental, whether selling makes sense, and how to do it tax efficiently. No politics, no pressure, just real math and real explanations. It's live, in person, not a webinar. Tuesday the 17th at 3 p.m. at UW-Tacoma, and Wednesday the 18th at 3 p.m. at Bellevue College. Seats are limited. To reserve your spot, call 833-673-7373 or visit madronafinancial.com.
Why does it matter to members that Aetna was named a Best Medicare Advantage company by U.S. News & World Report? Because they chose a plan that gives them real support, real people, and real care. We show up on calls with members and doctors' offices when needed. We show up with access to convenient care options and coverage that fits everyday life. We don't show up for awards. We show up for you. And showing up for you is how healthier happens together.
Let's talk about your hair. Well, maybe after we talk about my hair. I've got great hair, as you know, and it's because of Advanced Hair. Yep, Advanced Hair Restoration. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results that I can attest to. Guys, it's not magic, but it's close to it. They put hair where you need it most, and bam, it grows. It's actual science. Advanced Hair has top-rated physicians, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins to regrow the very next day. It's even guaranteed to grow for life. So schedule your free consultation now at 425-449-8185. Mention Curly to qualify for $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. It's a limited time offer. Advanced Hair, the winner of the 425 Business of the Year, and the team that gave me my hair back. More importantly, they'll do the same for you, guaranteed. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
That's another amazing run by Team USA.
Mom, think I'll be on Team USA one day?
Well, I'll take this one.
Are you speaking to us?
Yes, and to answer your question, anything's possible, especially with Xfinity.
So, I can be the best snowboarder ever?
Well, I can't guarantee that, but Xfinity can guarantee that your internet price won't change for 5 years.
Okay. What if I practice every day?
Then maybe you'll be snowboarding for Team USA at the next Olympic Winter Games. And Mom, you'll still be paying the same price for Wi-Fi.
Ooh, really stuck the landing there.
It's the Xfinity Gold Medal Celebration. Now through February 22nd, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed, just $50 a month. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. That's a $10.99 value per month. Xfinity. Imagine that. Proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Actual speeds vary.
Hey, let's throw a party this year for the big game.
Oh, great idea. But first, we should get a new TV. One of the top-rated brands. Samsung, LG, or Sony.
Okay, I'll start shopping on the internet and then head over to the Warehouse Club.
Well, but if that's all we do, we'll be sorry.
Why?
Because the best deals on those top-rated TVs are at video only, not online or at the club.
Video only?
Yep. We can save up to $500 if we shop smart.
Or we'll be sorry.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning to all of you. Ursula and I were just talking about how beautiful Seattle was, and it really was. Your girl Layla, she hit me up. She talked about how beautiful it was.
Yes.
Everybody's been talking about it. And you said something before we got to close out, you talked about how my dad would be proud and all
Yes.
those things. And yeah, and I agree. He would be proud. And
I mean, just the ascension of your
Right.
your trajectory in the last 10 years.
Sure.
Thinking of what I get proud. I get goosebumps thinking of what you're doing today.
Yeah. And I appreciate that. And you remind me and tell me all the time. And I think the difference today is before my hustle and hard work was so that I could pay my bills. Making money was like a big thing to me. But now I still like money, but that's not the big deal to me. The thing that I've been trying to battle through and go through is what you and I do on an every single day basis and what you and I have had to battle. And since we've been doing our show for 6 years, we've gone COVID, a pandemic, that was a big deal. You name the topics, we've gone through it, right? And a lot of the things, you're this side or that side, right? That's how it's come to be. And so we don't listen to this show and we don't listen to that show or these people. And so what I have been trying to figure out, something that my dad had figured out as he had gotten older, he was trying to teach me, is I'm trying to battle how do I get on the air every single day. And I know that some of the things that I say, I'm not trying to say that I'm right. I say that the things that I say are different than what people are used to hearing. They're not used to hearing my perspective through the lens of my eyes, right? Because we all know where media has been over the years. Mm-hmm. And so how can we do, or how can I do a better job of bringing things together? Now I go through my ups and downs because I'm human. But I got to tell you, yesterday, and little things that I'm starting to see, I'm really starting to see a flip. I'm starting to see a flip where it's going to come a time where hate isn't sold as well as it has been in the past. Because it seems like, Ursula, a lot of hate has been something. It seems like this collective agreement amongst each other, which, by the way, I do believe that 90% of us really want the same things. Mm-hmm. I truly believe that. We all want to go to work. We all want to take care of our families. We all want to eat. We all want to, be happy and wake up healthy and wake up the next day. I think 90% of us agree with that. But there's just other things that are in a way that stop us from doing that. I think that we look at each other first by, hey, what's your political affiliation?
Yeah. What tribe do you belong to?
What tribe do you belong to? Before we look at each other and say, hey, you're my neighbor first, right? So even if you live in Tacoma or you live in Seattle or you live in Everett, we're still neighbors. And I think going forward, in order for us to defeat what's coming our way, which is AI, right, which is a lot of that, I think that we as a people are going to have to realize, if we don't learn how to work together, we're going to be in trouble. And that's what sports does. Sports, there's a lot of people on the team that are trying to win a Super Bowl. They might come from different walks of life, cultural backgrounds, political affiliations, but it don't matter because they got to work together for a common goal, which is the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Well, what's going to be the common goal? What's going to be our Super Bowl as a people? What do you think that would be for us? Because in order to, my point, I'm not trying to go too deep, but if AI right now, we're seeing jobs eliminated, we're seeing some of the layoffs happening, and we're seeing the world shift, and we're seeing robots and all this stuff. How are we as a people going to fight that? Because individually or different tribes, we lose. Mm-hmm. So I hope you don't think I'm out in the weeds right now. Help me.
Well, no, you're giving a lot of food for thought. And someone just texted in. He goes by Uncle Jim on our text line. Mm-hmm. And he was saying, well, listen to your own words and, try to do your show in the way that you're talking about right now. And, yesterday was beautiful because there wasn't any political talk or race talk or he listed a few other things. And our show, the intention of our show is never to spread hate. If you hear, if what you're hearing is, oh my gosh, that sounds hateful, that's because we're reporting what is actually happening. Mm-hmm. Our goal is not to pit you against somebody else. I mean, that's not the intention. That might be the what you may feel is happening because your automatic response is to figure out, okay, well, I belong to this tribe, so no matter what they tell me, I'm going to find a reason not to believe it.
Sure.
And I think that's unfortunately where we have come right now. But you were saying, like when we were talking about the Epstein files, there are some things that we should all agree on, period, which would be, regardless if this was 10 years ago, 20 years ago, today, tomorrow, we should all agree that children need to be protected.
Yes. Yes. And just so we're clear, if you knew about it, I want to know. I don't care who you are. If Barack Obama knew something, I want to know if he knew too. It doesn't matter. But one more thing I want to say, Ursula.
Yeah.
Because some people might say, well, gee, on this day you said, hey, some days I got bad days.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I'm going to go back to you and go, remember 9:47 on that Thursday?
Yeah. Sometimes I have bad days. But today, I'm on my game today, y'all. I'm on my game.
You're always good because we're going to be talking about what happened in the other Washington coming up here in a few minutes. And again, this is going to be a difficult discussion, but it's to bring you details of what you may not have heard while you were watching the Super Bowl parade.
Okay. So I have an assignment for everyone. Ursula is going to talk about, Pam Bondi in that discussion. I want you to grade us at the end between A or an F on how we discuss it for you. All right, you get
no
the grade.
Pressure.
No pressure. You get did we cover it fairly or unfairly? All right, we do that next. Gee Ursula.
I'm here with Wes Jones of sellwithwes.com. And Wes, you were just telling me you think 2026 is going to be a rebound year for the housing market.
That's right. I think we're heading into the best real estate market of the past 4 years. And here's why. If you take a step back and look at the big picture, experts are anticipating a 15% increase in sales volume next year. Interest rates are at near 3-year lows and trending down, and home prices have held near all-time highs. There is a lot of pent-up demand. People have been sitting on the sidelines waiting for their time to jump into the market since 2022, and they need a place to buy.
So, hey, 2026 might be your year. If you're considering selling your home, if you're thinking about moving, but there was something that was just holding you back, now might be a great time. So do this. Go to sellwithwes.com. You can see your home's real value there with Wes's home value calculator. Then schedule an appointment by giving him a call. Sellwithwes.com. Sellwithwes.com. It really just is a better way to sell your home.
If you've been injured in a car accident, you have two choices: handle everything yourself or hire an experienced attorney. Go it alone, and you'll be on the phone with insurance adjusters, chasing medical records, fighting for lost wages, and trying to figure out what your case is really worth. Hire the right attorney, and they take all that off your plate so you can focus on getting better. Harold Carr Law Offices has a dedicated team of 48 people and more than 35 years of experience handling car accident cases right here in our community. Harold Carr Law Offices handles big cases and small ones while still treating their clients like family. Here's the difference they make. They save you time, reduce your stress, and get you significantly more money than you'd ever get on your own. Harold Carr Law Offices fights for you at no out-of-pocket cost to you. If you're in a car accident, call them right away. Visit carlaw.com. 2 R's in car. Car accident? Call Carr.
For almost 50 years, over 90,000 homeowners have trusted Home Comfort Alliance, including me, John Curley here. If comfort and energy savings matter to you, now is the time. Save up to $2,000 on a new Lennox heating and cooling system. Home Comfort Alliance will replace your system with one tailored to your home's layout and energy optimization. Visit homecomfortalliance.com to save up to $2,000 on a Lennox and schedule a free consultation. For heating, cooling, plumbing, or electrical, call the Comfort People. Home Comfort Alliance.
See country star Aaron Lewis and the State Liners at Muckleshoot Casino Resort, March 24th at 8 p.m. And now an added show on March 25th. He's a multi-platinum artist whose raw lyrics and powerhouse vocals have captivated fans for decades.
Willing to bleed, but take a bullet.
Now, he and his band, the Stateliners, are coming to Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Get your tickets now to see Aaron Lewis at muckleshootcasino.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Steve Kathan. Borders Czar Tom Homan calls the federal immigration crackdown in Minnesota a success.
We've seen a big change here in the last couple of weeks. And it's all good changes.
And today he said the operation is coming to an end. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz.
While the federal government may move on to whatever next thing they want to do, the state of Minnesota and our administration is unwaveringly focused on the recovery of what they did.
CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns is in Washington, where a Senate hearing is looking into the 3 deaths during the crackdown.
What we have heard from the hearing so far is this focus on the coordination, critics would say the lack thereof, between state and local and federal authorities. And that had been kind of at the crux of all of this before these killings.
Word just in that a judge has temporarily blocked the Pentagon from punishing Senator Mark Kelly for calling on U.S. troops to resist unlawful orders. On Instagram, Savannah Guthrie today said her family will never give up on their missing mother. Police are going through thousands of tips. CBS's Andres Gutierrez.
A white tent has gone up in front of Nancy Guthrie's house. We should not read too much into it, likely very much part of the investigative process. Something that detectives out there have been dealing with over the last few days have been the eyes of the media. Drones have been launched every time they show up on the property, and there are some pieces of evidence that they simply don't want the public to know about.
Well, 19 Buddhist monks are talking about their long walk for peace from Texas to Washington, D.C.
Their 2,300-mile, mostly barefoot walk took 109 days. The Venerable Bhikkhu Panakara told today's crowd, peace always begins from within.
Don't expect anybody to bring peace to us. It will never happen either. We have to create it ourselves.
He says they were overwhelmed by the number of people who came out to support them during their walk.
We have given out over 100,000 of peace bracelets.
The monks are taking buses back to Fort Worth. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
The EPA today is expected to revoke the 2009 endangerment finding that underpins the government's legal authority to regulate greenhouse gases. CBS's David Schechter.
Environmentalists warn any short-term savings will be dwarfed by failing to address the long-term costs of unchecked climate pollution that is driving more intense droughts, fires, and floods.
And checking Wall Street, it's a down day for stocks. The Dow is off 654 points. The S&P is down 91. NASDAQ down nearly 400. This is CBS News.
Every Sunday, moderator Margaret Brennan goes face-to-face with top leaders to make you better informed. Face the Nation, Sunday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Law enforcement thanking the attendees of the Super Bowl parade. We are going to explain that in just a moment. But first, we're going to check KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. And we are looking really good for this time of day. Certainly not a total speed limit drive anywhere you want to go, but pretty close. We are speed limit until you reach South Seattle, right around the north end or the Duwamish Curve. You start to slow getting into downtown Seattle. Linwood to, or Federal Way to Seattle is about 23 minutes. Linwood to Seattle in the southbound direction direction. 41 minutes. We did have a collision up near 145th. It looks like that has since cleared, and we're starting to see that commute dissipate. Getting out of Bothell into Bellevue is going to cost you 20 minutes, and Renton to Bellevue is 22 minutes, so pretty smooth sailing. This report brought to you by Simply Seattle.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. It's an incident that made international headlines 3 years ago. A graduate student from India hit and killed by police officer speeding to a call. KIRO 7 TV's Samantha Lomibao reports the legal case has been settled.
After 3 years of waiting and protests, the city of Seattle agrees to pay $29 million to the family of John V. Kandula, the 23-year-old student killed by one of its own officers. Now, the Seattle officer, Kevin Dave, was fired and ordered to pay a $5,000 fine for negligent driving. As for another officer that became viral, Daniel Otterer, who is also in Seattle police, who made controversial remarks about Kandula's death in a body cam video, he was also let go, and he has since sued the city for a wrongful termination.
A person was hit and killed by an Amtrak train south of Tukwila last night, just after 9 o'clock. The northbound train was headed from Portland to Seattle. According to the Seattle Times, no passengers or crew were hurt. Seattle police report yesterday's Seahawks Super Bowl parade was nothing but fun and celebration. Officers and deputies from all over Western Washington converged downtown to help with security, but thankfully, SPD Detective Eric Munoz says that help was not needed.
Our community showed up. All of our 12 showed up. We supported our Seahawks. So it was a very, very good day. There was no major incidents, no significant incidents.
SPD says it's going to take a couple of days to estimate the size of the crowd, but it was expected to be around 750,000 people. One of the busiest I-5 overpasses in the Seattle area is about to close for 2 weeks. The 145th overpass will close March 19th and remain closed until the 31st. Shoreline Public Works Director Tricia Yonke says the city is adding a new double-lane roundabout on the east side of I-5.
I really think this is going to be transformational for this region. We don't have a roundabout system like this in the Seattle area, and I think we're really going to see significant changes in how people move about.
Now we're going to check your weather forecast, and we are going to stay dry today, mostly cloudy, high 52, rain tomorrow. 42 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. So grateful to have you here with us. Ursula, good morning to you.
Good morning. You invited everybody to grade our next segment, and I just cannot wait for that.
Hey, listen, and no matter what kind of grade they give us on to this segment,
yes,
I do want people to know at 10:30,
yes,
there is an awesome story that involves a passenger and a flight attendant. And the passenger films the flight attendant doing something amazing. And so far on X, it's got 7.5 million views. On Instagram is over 2.3 million. And on Facebook is over 2 million. So we're going to be interviewing that flight attendant coming up at 10:30.
We're also going to hear from that passenger.
And we'll hear from the passenger,
that passenger who's been really modest about this whole thing, to the point where I didn't even know this video had gone viral until this morning.
You're right. Yep, you'll hear from the passenger as well.
But it's going to be another feel-good story.
Yep.
So that's coming up at 10:30 after the newscast.
Okay.
Text us on our Muckleshoot Casino and Resort text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
What's new at 10?
U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi spent hours on Capitol Hill yesterday, and it turned into less of a hearing and more of a verbal cage match. Democrats, including Jamie Raskin, hammered her over the botched release of the Epstein investigation files, the failure to notify victims, and accusations that the Justice Department is targeting President Trump's political enemies.
You're siding with the perpetrators, and you're ignoring the victims. That will be your legacy unless you act quickly to change course. You're running a massive Epstein cover-up right out of the Department of Justice. You've been ordered by subpoena and by Congress to turn over 6 million documents, photographs, and videos in the Epstein files, but you've turned over only 3 million. You say you're not turning over the other 3 million because they're somehow duplicative, but we know that there are actual memos of victim statements in there. And you also took down the Department of Justice's prosecution memo from 2019. So it's clearly not all duplicative, but even if it were, why not release it?
Now, Pam Bondi didn't back down over these 5 hours. She was praising President Trump repeatedly. She was blaming liberal activist judges, and she insisted that the Justice Department is focused on violent crime and not politics. Now, listen to this exchange between Republican Thomas Massie when he pressed Bondi on why more men connected to Jeffrey Epstein hadn't been charged. And then you'll hear Jamie Raskin, again, the congressman, also stepping in.
How many of Epstein's co-conspirators have you indicted? How many perpetrators are you even investigating?
First, you showed it. I find it.
How many have you indicted?
Excuse me. I'm going to answer the question.
Answer my question.
No, I'm going to answer the question the way I want to answer the question.
No,
Your
you're going to answer the question the way I asked it.
You can let her filibuster all day long, but not on our watch. Not on our time. No way. And I told you about that, Attorney General, before you started.
You don't tell me.
Yeah, I did tell you because we saw what you did in the Senate.
You're a lawyer, not even a lawyer.
Okay, just for the record, Jamie Raskin is an attorney. He's a constitutional law professor. He graduated from Harvard Law School, served as editor of the Harvard Law Review. So just wanted to make sure that we had those facts. Then there was Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal of Seattle, who also demanded that Pam Bondi apologize to some of Epstein's survivors who were in that hearing room.
To the survivors in the room, if you are willing, please stand. And if you are willing, please raise your hands if you have still not been able to meet with this Department of Justice. Please know for the record that every single survivor has raised their hand. Attorney General Bondi, you apologized to the survivors in your opening statement for what they went through at the hands of Jeffrey Epstein. Will you turn to them now and apologize for what your Department of Justice has put them through with the absolutely unacceptable release of the Epstein files and their information?
Congresswoman, you sat before Merrick Garland sat in this chair twice.
Attorney General Bondi.
No, can I finish my answer?
No, I'm going to reclaim my time because I asked you a specific question that I would like you to answer, which is, will you turn to the survivors? This is not about anybody that came before you. It is about you taking responsibility for your Department of Justice and the harm that it has done to the survivors who are standing right behind you and are waiting for you to turn to them and apologize for what your Department of Justice has done.
Members get to ask the questions, the witness gets to answer in the way they want to answer. The Attorney General can
That's
respond.
not accurate, Mr. Chairman.
Because she doesn't like the answer. So,
Mr. Chairman,
why
I have asked
didn't she ask Merrick Garland this?
I am reclaiming my time, and when I
will
reclaim my
continue to
time,
answer.
Mr. Chairman, the gentlelady's reclaimed her
I'm not going
time.
to get in the gutter for her theatrics.
The time belongs to the gentlelady. The gentlelady has 17 seconds.
Thank you. You're not going to answer this question, so let me just
Chairman,
say
I'll
this.
direct it to
What a
you.
massive
No, I'm
cover-up.
answering a question.
Chairman, will you restore her time? The witness is interrupting.
I'm not going to get in the gutter with this woman.
Stop the
She's
time
doing theatrics.
and let me have my
The
time.
gentlelady from Washington controls the time. The gentlelady has 17 seconds. You can proceed with your final 17 seconds.
What a massive cover-up this has been and continues to be. Donald Trump made the release of the Epstein files the center of his political campaign because he thought it would benefit him. Then you got into office, Attorney General, claimed to have a client list, only to then say that there was no list. Your deputy, Todd Blanche, met alone with Ghislaine Maxwell and transferred her to a minimum security prison. And now you continue the cover-up. And I wish that you would turn around to the survivors who are standing right behind you and on a human level apologize.
Chair now recognizes the chair.
On what you have done.
The time of the gentlelady expired. The gentlelady, you have no time to yield back. We appreciate that. We appreciate the thought.
I can't remember a time, Ursula, that you have let it play out the way that you did. So
I specifically did that.
Yeah, why?
Because I don't want to be accused of editing it out. I mean, this went on for hours, so you all need to watch it for yourself. And I went in to see, does it get any better? I mean, I will say that the Republicans, with the exception of Thomas Massie, were largely defending Pam Bondi, and they say that the department has returned to law and order priorities. Yeah. But the question now is, who's getting served by this? Like, are the survivors getting the justice they deserve and the answers they need? Are people being held accountable? And just this deflection of, well, Merrick Garland didn't do it, or President Biden didn't do it. Again, I want to go back to from the time when people knew what Epstein was up to, and it seems a lot of people in power knew exactly what he was up to, and were covering up for him and continue to cover up for him. They need to be held accountable.
Yeah, they do. I think that when people, and by the way, the majority of people hear Pam Bondi and are disgusted. I think that for the people that maybe were on the defense of the DOJ and Pam Bondi and some of the things, I think they're being forced to see, like, wait a minute, full stop. There should be no deflection right now. There should be only answers. I'm going to say something maybe that's unpopular right now. Am I mad at Pam Bondi? Sure. But I feel like being mad at Pam Bondi would be like being mad at someone that's being kidnapped and doing something against their will. Because there's sound of Pam Bondi in how she used to be at one point.
How was that? Because people aren't hearing it.
Yeah, Pam Bondi, when she used to talk and speak out against human trafficking. Pam Bondi used to have a strong voice. As a matter of fact, a lot of times, there's a lot of people that have strong voices sometimes before they enter that vortex and into that movement. Marjorie Taylor Greene is now not inside of it. Now she's outside of that. And you hear Marjorie Taylor Greene and you're like, hey, wait a minute. Who is that?
Yeah.
And
well,
I'm not.
To your point, Thomas Massie is one of the Republicans that's very vocal now, but he's on his way out.
Right.
And it's like, we need people who have a spine, who are still in the game right now, regardless of party, calling out when it's wrong. And you said you can't get upset about Pam Bondi. Yeah, I can.
I'm not. That's not what I said. I'm upset about what she was saying, yes. But the person, to the Pam Bondi, a lot of these people are compromised. A lot of these people are inside of something. Okay, look, I'm going to say this. I want to make sure I say it right way. I am not saying it's a cult, okay? But it reminds me of when I have seen documentaries on cults. And you see the sister leave the cult, and she's trying to get her sister that's still in the cult. Yeah. And then
people are operating out of fear because they feel like they cannot go against.
Like, I think it's real fear, though, Ursula. I'm not talking about I'm not going to like you anymore fear. I truly believe that there is real fear. Like, and when I say real fear, I'm talking about the people who could be named in this. These are some of the most powerful people in the world. This is the reason why.
Can I give you some names who are listed? And now, again, not charged, but there are names that have popped up. And you heard 6 million documents, only 3 million have been released. All of these are still heavily redacted, right? Except for we got to know the victims.
The victims. The victims' names weren't redacted.
A large portion is still redacted. Story is still incomplete. But we're talking about Bill Clinton. His name is there. Donald Trump, Steve Bannon, Peter Mandelson, Howard Lutnick. Prince Andrew, boy, they're throwing the book at Prince Andrew.
So,
Sarah Ferguson, Bill Gates, Elon Musk.
Can we just stop? I'm glad you brought that up, and I'm asking all of you, what's throwing the book at Prince Andrew? Think about that for a second. What you gonna do? You go, hey, we're no longer gonna call you Prince. You're gonna keep all your money for the rest of your life. That's the thing about this. There's not going to really be, Ursula, any real justice. Like, for example, you said Bill Gates' name in there? What are they going to do? What are they going to do to some of these people? Do I think that there's going to be a day that I see mugshots and handcuffs and actual real, like if the common person were to do what they're saying some of these folks have done, is this going to happen to them? No. Oh my goodness, Prince Andrew, how dare you do that? What's going to happen to me? Nothing. And the reason why I speak this way, I know, by the way, I hope I'm wrong. But society and this world has taught me long enough that a lot of these things that have been happening, this didn't just start happening with Epstein. All of this stuff, the whole we want to protect the kids, the same entities that were supposed to be great environments for kids were the same ones that abused the kids. Mm-hmm. Boy Scouts of America, the Catholic Church. By the way, if I say something it's not an opinion, these are facts. Go look it up in the books. Michigan State with Larry Nassar, right? Penn State with that whole thing.
Yeah. But what ends up happening is, sometimes there are criminal prosecutions. And I was just looking because I wanted to make sure. But British police are saying they've spoken with criminal prosecutors as part of an ongoing assessment of allegations regarding former Prince Andrew. So, I mean, at the very least, they're at least looking into the possibility of criminal charges, which cannot be said about some of these other names. And again, what do we know? What is being released? Why is more being released about the survivors versus the people who were around this horrible person in Jeffrey Epstein and knew exactly what he was doing?
Did you know that, or have an idea that Donald Trump his name would possibly be in the Epstein files before he was voted into office, Ursula?
Yes. Everyone had talked about that. Right. To what extent, don't know.
So how?
There were pictures of.
So how did he win? How did Donald Trump win?
That was not a deal breaker for a lot of people. And again, it's because
say it again.
That was not a deal breaker.
Wasn't a deal breaker.
No.
Wow.
And clearly, and someone pointed out, hey, did you guys talk about Biden? And Jeffrey Epstein during Biden's administration? I'm going to say right now, I don't care whose administration it is. We need to get over that. It's not a particular administration. It is whoever is responsible for doing horrific things to children.
Come on.
Who are still waiting for their day of justice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Some are not here to see it happen.
Right. So as we move forward with this, in your opinion, February 12th, 2026. Where do you think this goes from here? Where do you think
it's going to happen? Nothing's going to happen unless there is a change, a dramatic change coming up in
November.
In November.
So you don't think anything's going to happen until November?
No, I think there's just going to be more theatrics.
So from now, because they got a campaign, the Republicans have to campaign and get ready for November.
Yep.
So right now it's February. We know until November. So from now until November. By the way, they lost Kyle Rittenhouse. By the way, just so you know, the famous Kyle Rittenhouse, the ones that was acquitted. He even said he wants Pam Bondi to resign. But anyway, from February to November, Ursula, you mean to tell me the Republicans are going to be able to dodge this? They're going to just keep moving things to the side all the way to November with the plan to probably try to win?
Well, I think that there is always another distraction, and then we come back to this. There's always another distraction, and we come back to this. And I think people need to be relentless on this because, again, if we truly believe in protecting children, we should not care what party, who they represent, who they are, what level of power. In fact, we should be much more diligent about pursuing those who are in positions of power.
Yeah. Well, Ursula, you've been doing this show for 6 years with me. If I had to tell you and remind you of one name that was not in the Epstein files, who would you think I would bring up?
Obama.
Coming up next here on the Gee and Ursula Show, there was a passenger and a flight attendant, and also another passenger. Well, one passenger filmed it, and one flight attendant was absolutely amazing. Wait until you hear this story. This flight attendant is going to join us next and find out how his kindness really helped out someone that was a stranger on his plane. We'll do that next. Gee and Ursula.
This is what it's all about, right?
The Seahawks win Super Bowl 60.
The pure joy.
To beat the Patriots, especially in the 49ers stadium, it means everything.
It's a great time to be alive for Seattle fans.
It's why we're 12s.
Just like Mike McDonald said, we did not care.
We got a parade to get to.
Seattle will hold a victory parade Wednesday.
We are the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
KIRO Newsradio.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the roads you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included in every tire we sell. It's more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's all about you getting more from less. Stop by or book an appointment at leschwab.com.
Sometimes we hang on to our old attorneys and coaches too long. They've been around, they've done good work. But when the legal game changes, you need a team that is hungry to win now. At Bible Law Group, we're that faster, hard-hitting legal team, ready to fight for every inch in the courtroom. With over 40 million closed for our clients, we know how to win, and we're ready to take on the biggest legal case of your career with you. Don't stick with a playbook that's gone stale. Switch to the legal team that's ready to win now. Let Bible Law Group be your linebacker in the courtroom. Find us online at BibleLawGroup.com.
Remember that time we were driving through France and for some reason we didn't have GPS?
Oh, for some reason? That reason would be that you didn't plug your phone in because you didn't have a charger.
Yeah, because I let you borrow my phone so you could call your mother and you're on the phone for like 30 minutes telling her where we are. But that aside, we didn't know where we were going. We did fight a little bit because we didn't know where we were going. I think that Longevity Medical Clinic is like the GPS for us. They tell us which turns to make. They tell us which directions to go, right?
They do. And now I feel like the two of us together have a clear path and we have more control over our own health care.
Right, exactly. So you don't have to get out of the car and try to find information somewhere. It's all right there. As you're aging, all the little sort of turns you have to make in order to be able to have lots of energy and to enjoy your life. So for as far as I'm concerned, Longevity Medical Clinic is our GPS. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877 Cars for Kids. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perongo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Aren't you the company that gives away free furnaces?
That's us. Buy a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system and the furnace is free.
Wow.
Yeah, and our home comfort advisors are tax credit and rebate specialists, so they'll handle the rebate for you.
Go to CM Heating for better comfort, lower bills, and a free furnace you'll love for years. Get your free estimate for furnace replacement at cmheating.com. And remember, for furnaces, fireplaces, hot water, and total home comfort, including electrical, there's no beating CM Heating.
It's a great time to visit Subaru of Puyallup during the Subaru A Lot to Love event for extra savings through March 31st. Visit your stress-free dealership, SubaruofPuyallup.com.
Hey everyone, Hartley Wilcox here. And I'm Charlie Wilcox from Wilcox Family Farms. Our family's been raising hens and gathering fresh eggs right here for over 100 years.
That's right. Our hens roam free on green pastures, soaking up the sunshine and living their best chicken lives.
We don't do shortcuts. No cages, no chemicals, just honest-to-goodness eggs laid fresh every day.
And when you buy Wilcox eggs, you're not just getting breakfast. You're supporting local farmers like us, clean food, and a family that's been doing it right for generations.
So next time you're at the grocery store,
skip the out-of-state eggs and grab the ones with our name on them.
Wilcox Family Farms. Fresh, local, trusted. Find fresh Wilcox eggs at Metropolitan Markets, PCC, or Safeway. And for a healthy snack on the go, grab some ready-to-eat hard-boiled eggs in a convenient to-go 2-pack. Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh since 1909.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
we meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Jillian Raftery. The immigration crackdown in Minnesota is over. Now begins the withdrawal. Here's Border Czar Tim Homan, who spoke this morning.
ICE here in this state have located 3,364 missing unaccompanied alien children. Children that the last administration lost and weren't even looking for.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz says it's not so simple for locals.
While the federal government may move on to whatever next thing they want to do, the state of Minnesota and our administration is unwaveringly focused on the recovery of what they did.
Here at home, ICE may have a new base of operations soon in Tukwila. According to leasing documents obtained by Wired, the Riverfront Technical Park office building in Tukwila could become a new address for ICE offices. Sabi Corporation owns Riverfront Technical Park. It also owns the building where the Department of Homeland Security office is located along Tukwila International Boulevard. So far, no comment from ICE. Central Washington Congressman Dan Newhouse broke with his party yesterday and voted to end President Donald Trump's tariffs on Canada. The Sunnyside Republican joined Democrats and 5 other GOP lawmakers to pass the measure. Newhouse says Canada is Washington state's second largest export market, and the tariffs have hurt farmers and the beer, wine, and spirits industries. Spokane Republican Michael Baumgartner voted against the resolution after consulting with House Speaker Mike Johnson. Voters in Everett appear to be on track to approve a school funding measure as part of Tuesday's special election in Snohomish County. KIRO 7 TV's Dee Dee Sun has more.
The $398 million bond would also rebuild Lowell Elementary School. Another $361 million levy is expected to be renewed by voters to maintain school programs not funded by the state. So what does that mean for taxes? The property tax rate in the Everett School District will gradually increase by 30 cents per $1,000. $1,000,000 of home value. That means the owner of $1 million house would eventually pay $300 per year.
Now we're going to get a check of traffic, and we have nothing major blocking to tell you about. Oh, and actually, just something just popped up. As I said that, 405 northbound just south of 169, there was a collision blocking the 2 center lanes, and that is why we are seeing a backup behind it to 167. But it is a speed limit drive all the way from there to Bothell in the northbound direction. And the slowing on I-5 in either direction, getting into and out of Seattle, is almost speed limit at this point. Good job, everybody. This report brought to you by Simply Seattle. Get your championship gear at Simply Seattle, your go-to shop for Seahawks gear with both licensed and custom designs you won't find anywhere else. Celebrate the title with jerseys, shirts, hoodies, hats, and collectibles. Use code ESPN15 for 15% off your order at simplyseattle.com. Cloudy skies today with sun breaks, rain tomorrow, and a high of 48. It's 42 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio Northwest News.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning to all of you. We're trying to get our guest here. He's there right now, but he's seems to be muted right now. Good morning, Ursula.
Oh, okay. Well, let's set this up.
Yeah.
Because I found out this morning that there was a video portraying kindness in action.
Right.
So share that with us, because it was something that a particular traveler saw on a plane and took video of.
Right. Yes. So he's going to join us. So what happened is I was the passenger, was on the way from Chicago, heading back to San Francisco. And you know how tired I was.
Yes.
And I'm on my way back to San Francisco. I'm on a flight, and you're going to laugh at me because I had taken a picture.
That should be no shock to anybody.
You know what I'm going to say?
Uh-huh.
I was back in the back on coach.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was back, and it was tight.
Okay. Was that the middle seat situation?
I wasn't even in the middle seat. I was at the window. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I was back there, but it was okay.
Sorry.
But I was grateful.
Sorry, G. Welcome to the rest of our world.
I was grateful. I was blessed. Well, there was a passenger that was next to me. She was crying. She was all upset. I didn't know what was the matter with her. Before we had taken off, she had gotten on her phone. I could hear that she was speaking in Chinese. She was very upset. So I had no idea what was happening. Well, it was cart service was happening. They were bringing out the snacks and beverages, and the gentleman, the flight attendant, was coming by with the cart, and she had reached out to say something to him, and he stopped what he was doing, knelt down, and he went to have a conversation with her. And he's having a conversation with her. I don't know what they're talking about. And then at the very end, but whatever he was saying, I just loved the fact that he had taken the time to stop. So I pulled out my phone, and you know me, I like to record.
I know.
And I go to record, and I don't know what's going on. And I go to record, and at the very end, he says, "Give me a hug." And they go to hug, and I'm telling you, Ursula, that hug changed everything.
Made you forget you were back there in coach.
Yeah, oh yeah, that too. He got up, walked away, and she looked at me, and she was all smiles, and it really helped her out. So we could find out what they were talking about, Ursula. So you introduce our next guest, who is Eric Cato. He joins us right now. Eric is the flight attendant.
Hi, Eric.
Eric, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm good. Well, first, it's all over social media, man.
Man, because of you. I thank you.
It's all over. Now, okay. So take us back to it. I don't know what's happening. You're going through with the beverage cart or the snack cart, and the passenger says something to you. What did she say?
Well, she stopped. She grabbed my wrist very tight. So that caught my attention. So I knew immediately something was wrong. She took off her mask, her face mask, and she said, how bad of a delay are we going to be? And at that time, we were going to be about 45 minutes late to San Francisco. And she had a very tight connection to Beijing, China. And so as soon as she revealed that she was going to Beijing, China, she told me that her father is dying and she needs to make that flight. Otherwise, she's going to miss him. She's going to miss him. She doesn't want to miss her last moments with him. So I immediately kneel down as you guys see on the video, and it was just a connection that we made, because I understand where she's coming from, being so far away from home. You're away from your loved ones, and then you have to get on air travel, which is going to take more time to get to your family. So that delay was, it was going to mean a lot to her. And if she didn't make that, I would have honestly felt super, super bad for her.
And then at the end, why the hug?
Well, she made me cry, man. It was super emotional. She made me cry, and then I could just look into her eyes, and it was just something I can't describe it in words what I felt in that moment, but I know that she needed someone. You know what I mean? She needed another human connection, just to let her know that everything is going to be okay. Dealing with a sick loved one already, can be stressful. You just never know when it's that time for that loved one to, transition. And I just wanted to, just assure her that, everything is going to be fine. Do not stress, do not worry. She's gonna make it. And she did. We ended up landing only 4 minutes late, and her next flight wasn't until about an hour away. So she definitely made her flight.
Well, Eric, first of all, thank you for your kindness. We need more Erics in the world. And I love that in a high pressure situation like you've often faced, we always hear about, the passengers who act up and make it hard for flight attendants to do their work. And what Gee captured on video ended up showing just such a beautiful side of humanity, and something
Absolutely.
that was you that I can tell just in how you talk that you take that approach to life, not just in your job, but just in life in general. And I love, first of all, did you ever imagine that it would go viral? Did you see Gee taking the video?
No, and it's funny because when I was talking to her, Gee, I saw you in the corner of my eye, but I thought you just shifted your body just to watch our interaction.
Right.
I didn't really, I didn't realize what you were doing.
I'm stealth.
And so then, when we were finished with service and took just a small break, I got on Facebook and I see a still shot. I'm like, and it's on the side of my face. So I'm like, I know that guy. And then I clicked the video and I'm like, oh my God, this literally just happened. This is me.
So have you heard from your bosses? Did anyone?
I've heard from leadership. A couple in leadership. They said thank you. They said that's on brand for who United is. They were super proud of me for what I've done, and just as you said, Ursula, it's not something that is uncommon. You know what I mean? This is something that we take pride in as flight attendants. Just to make our passengers travel go easy. No matter if their travel was for fun or for business or for, just like in this passenger situation, it was for, something pretty heavy, pretty stressful. So our job, is all about safety, but it's also about making that connection with those passengers, with whomever, you know what I mean? And like I said, it's not uncommon for this to happen, but it's rare to see. And Gee captured the moment. And honestly, again, Gee, thank you so much for that, because I was able to, with your help, I'm able to show the world who I truly am, if that makes sense.
Wow.
Mm.
And I truly appreciate that. You have no idea. You have no idea.
You had no idea that this loudmouth from Seattle was recording you, huh?
Not at all. Not at all.
Hey, well, before you go, I got to tell Ursula this. That this is all the listeners. In my opinion, y'all, this is the best part of the entire story. Yes, she did make her flight. That was awesome.
Yes.
But you want to hear the best part of it?
What's that?
Come to find out, Where I'm from in Chicago, he is 200 to 300 meters away.
No way.
I looked at
Small world.
meters, not y'all.
Y'all were meant to be connected.
Yeah, connected.
Y'all, yes.
Southside Jeffrey Manor. We from the same area in Chicago.
Thank you again.
Alignment. It's alignment.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're going to put the video up on our Facebook feed, and on X, that video has 7.5 million views. Socials, Instagram, 2 million.
That's
Hey.
incredible. It's a story that needs
Yeah.
to be shared, and you were just being you.
Yep. Thanks, Eric.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. I truly appreciate it. G, again, thank you so much.
You got it, brother. Thanks for being an awesome human. All right, take care. That is Eric Cato from Chicago, United Airlines. Shout out to them. Sophia, we'll put that video on our Facebook here in a sec. Scenarios next. Gee Ursula.
Hartley here from Wilcox Family Farms. All of us on the farm want to congratulate our football team on a winning season. And I want to remind you, the shape of a football, it's kind of like an egg. Sure, one's for touchdowns, the other's for healthy breakfast. But you score with both. So celebrate the season with locally fresh eggs from Wilcox, because both scramble pretty well. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
This is a test of your emergency alert system.
If you're hurt in a car accident, call Harold Car Law Offices right away. They'll save you time and get you more money from insurance while you're able to focus on recovering. Visit carlaw.com. 2 R's in car. Car accident? Call CAR.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
It's cold outside, and if you're noticing it's taking forever to heat your home, there are cold spots in certain rooms, your furnace turns off and on a lot, or it never stops, or maybe your energy bill is just way too high. These are all warning signs that your home needs a blanket. There may be something wrong with your insulation, which means not only are you uncomfortable in your own home, but you could be wasting hundreds or thousands of dollars a year in lost energy. Call Insulation Northwest today, and we'll send one of our professionals to give you a fast, free energy inspection to determine if there is a problem. And if there is a problem, we can fix it fast. Most jobs are completed in 1 day. You have nothing to lose. The inspection is free and only takes about an hour and could save you thousands. Keep the heat in, the cold out, and your energy bill low. Call Insulation Northwest today. Insulation Northwest, the real insulation company.
Please ask if you qualify for thousands of dollars of free rebates from your energy company.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
Experience the iconic Mexican music group Bronco at Muckleshoot Casino Resort Saturday, February 28th at 8 p.m. Tickets are on sale now at muckleshootcasino.com.
I'm worried.
About what?
Water.
Oh?
Hot water, if you really want to know.
Water heater worries?
Worried it's wearing down.
Running out?
The hot doesn't last like it used to.
So you're...
Worried.
I got a guaranteed fix.
Let me guess. A new water heater.
Right, but...
That's what worries me.
Well, worry no more.
Why?
What you need is an Apollo Plumbing water heater.
Because?
We include Wrenchie's Worry-Free Warranty.
Wrenchie's what?
Worry-Free Warranty.
Which means?
When it wears out, we replace it.
No extra charge.
As an A-List Club member, you're covered for life.
For life?
For as long as you're an A-List member. You get annual life-extending water heater flushes included.
So it lasts longer.
Right.
And when it needs replacement,
you're covered.
With no worries.
Because it's Wrenchie's
Worry-Free Warranty.
What else would you expect from the Ready Right Now plumbers?
Apollo Plumbing.
Home of Wrenchie's Worry-Free Warranty.
What about tankless ones?
Worry-free too.
Gotta love that Wrenchie.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant,
She knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
It's the Super Smart Top Special at Olympic. Save on a new hot tub and get a free Smart Top cover worth $3,700. Super Smart Top special savings will make you feel, well, super. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning. That's right. Before we get to scenarios, just want you all to know, if you missed that interview, well, it'll be on the podcast later on, but we just had Eric Cato on, the United Airlines flight attendant that was so incredibly gracious towards a passenger that did make her flight to Beijing, her connecting flight to Beijing, China.
This is my favorite story of the day.
It is. The only other stories was
No. Actually, the other favorite story of the day was your favorite story at 9:30.
Yeah.
So I have two favorite stories.
Just so you guys know, Sophia, it is on our Facebook page.
Yes, your video's on the Facebook page, and then the video of the interview is going up right now.
Oh, look at you. All that technology. Gen Z, I tell you. Hey, let's do scenarios.
Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
I'm a manager at a company that just laid off 200 people. I knew that the cuts were coming, but leadership told me not to say anything. I watched folks plan vacations, sign leases, knowing that some of them would lose their job.
Oh.
Here's my question. Was I supposed to be loyal to the company, or did I fail my people? 888-973-5476 is the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. Ursula, you're up the bat first, and I'm glad you're up the bat first.
Okay, what position were you in again?
They're a manager.
A manager.
Yep.
Okay, having been there, there are things that you want to do to protect your employees and to say things to your employees that you can't. The employees that you supervise, the members of your team. And you aren't able to. And that's the part I hate about management the most. That's what got me out of management.
Good. Ooh.
Truly.
Yeah.
The days that you have to let go of people and you weren't able to tell them prior to having to do that, gut-wrenching. Life-altering.
Because
I don't mean to be too dramatic. For some people, it's really easy. For some people, if they're masters of compartmentalization, they can say, yeah, no, this is cost of doing business, blah, blah, blah. That's just not how I'm built. And so it bugged the heck out of me. But I understand, as a manager, you can't. You cannot protect them. You can maybe encourage them to try to recession-proof or fire-proof their jobs, give them ideas as to how they can make themselves so valuable that you can't get rid of them.
Yeah.
But ultimately...
Because, by the way, Ursula, you and I'm answering the same exact reason that you're answering. I didn't know that you were going to say that's why you got out of management, but I was going to say that's why I don't want to be in management, right? Like, look, I have a hard enough time taking care of myself. You know what I mean? I have a hard enough time doing that. But as a manager, you are privy to information not just a month before you find out someone's going to get laid off. You know the trajectory of the company. You are in on meetings like, hey, just so you guys know, we're going to start having, putting our resources towards this department and maybe less towards this. The writings on the wall were in that meeting maybe a year or two ago. And then here we are. 6 months before it's supposed to happen, you find out that they're going to get laid off. as your job as manager, what you gonna do? You gonna say something? Now you're gonna ruin your job. You don't want to be in those positions? Don't be a manager. Look, I'm dead serious.
It's true, and the other part of it too is you could be held responsible. And I mean, not only could you lose your job, but depending on what kind of information that you're giving to folks, I mean, you could face legal action as well.
There you go. So again, if you want to be a manager and you good with that, cool. If not, let's see what Sophia got to say.
Oh my gosh. Well, I was clocked out a little bit in the beginning because I was putting this video on Facebook. But I do think there is a dynamic of, you can be there for your people, but you're right. If you're in that role, there are just responsibilities that you're going to have to be holding up to. And you can make a plan of action to prevent it. But once you know it's happening.
All right. You know what, Sophia? I tell you what. Let's just change the game.
Okay. Sure.
You go upstairs right now and they say, Sophia, we plan on laying off G in 2 weeks. You can't say anything. Would you tell me?
Oh my gosh. Well, that's again, like, am I going to suffer legal consequences if you get, like, if I'm like, well, you tell G that he's letting you go, you get let go too? Because I think it would be very hard for me to keep that if I knew that in my back pocket. But
so you wouldn't tell me?
But she would be in a position of not being management.
Right, I'm not management. If I'm not going to suffer a consequence, I would tell G. I would tell G.
I held that up. Nick, what do you got, man?
I get the whole status quo of keeping things a secret on a corporate level, and I'm not saying things about layoffs or firings until the moment hits. But when it comes to treating people like human beings and being an honest, transparent person, letting people know what you know that pertains to them. So if it were me, and I care about these people, I'm coming out with it instead of messing with people's emotions and mentality. Maybe you lose that managerial position, but you might improve your mentals getting out of that if the cultures don't speak, don't tell. I'm not about that.
Uh-oh. Go ahead, Sophia.
I will add, because I know you're looking at me like, you wouldn't tell me. I think I would tell you, Ju, but I think I would say that there is a shift in my generation for transparency. Like, I've just noticed more so, at least when I talk to people my age that are working professionally, there's a little bit more of a, like, hey, like, I'm going to be straight up with you and tell you, like, how much I'm getting paid or how people are explaining things to me or what happened to me when I stepped into this position. And I think there used to be kind of this culture of keeping a lot of that stuff private in order to protect yourself.
I believe that because us old folks, we guard our salary like, don't tell nobody. How much you make, Lincoln?
Or like a Loomis truck.
So I will say there is a little bit more of a push to protect your peers a little bit more. Because especially if you're not a manager, you got to protect each other.
All right. We got more of the Gee Ursula Show coming up next. Gee Ursula.
I ain't got no bell to ring. Yeah, you got to pull my string. You got to pull my strings down. Pull my strings. You got to pull my strings. You got to pull my strings down. Pull my strings.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction or your money back. File today the easy way in the Credit Karma app.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business. Powering possibilities.
Now through March 22nd, switch to Comcast Business and get started with 150 megabit internet plus Security Edge for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Or ask how to lock in your rate for 5 years on a qualifying internet bundle and get a $500 prepaid card when you add 2 lines of mobile for a limited time only. Call today. Restrictions apply. New customers only. Requires paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and other fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply.
We're the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle. This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Stacey Lynn in Washington, where President Trump just announced the EPA will stop regulating greenhouse gases.
This action will save American consumers trillions of dollars and will lower the average cost of a new vehicle by close to $3,000.
The administration's rescinding a declaration known as the endangerment finding that determined that carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases endanger public health and welfare. The immigration crackdown in Minnesota is ending.
I'm Michael Wallace. Borders Czar Tom Homan made the announcement.
I have proposed, and President Trump has concurred, that this surge operation conclude.
He declared the surge a success, despite the protests and shooting deaths of 2 civilians.
There are some issues here. We fixed those issues. We've had great success with this operation, and we're leaving Minnesota safer.
Homan says Minnesota is now less of a sanctuary state for criminals.
A record number of detained immigrants in the U.S. are dropping their cases and voluntarily leaving the country. LSU nursing school grad Vilma Valacio is one of them.
They're just emotionally drained and exhausted through it all of the way that we're being treated, to just say, okay, all I want is my freedom.
A judge has temporarily blocked the Pentagon from punishing Senator Mark Kelly for calling on U.S. troops to resist unlawful orders. Cammie McCormick with details.
The judge said Pentagon officials have violated Kelly's free speech rights and threatened the constitutional liberties of millions of military retirees. Kelly, a former fighter pilot, sued to block the censure from Pete Hegseth, who had said it was a step that could have resulted in a demotion in Kelly's retired rank of captain. Kelly's lawyers argued it was an attack on the rights of veterans to publicly debate national security issues.
CBS's Andreas Gutierrez is in Tucson, Arizona with the latest on the search for Nancy Guthrie.
Today, the sheriff ended up asking for a specific request for security video for anyone living near her Catalina Foothills home. They're asking people to check their cameras for video on January 11th from 9 p.m. to midnight, and then again on Saturday, January 31st from 9:30 in the morning to 11 a.m.
Samsung is working on next-gen AI chips. Here's tech contributor Ian Schur.
Manufacturers around the world say that they can't keep up with demand, and companies, including big tech firms, are continuing to invest billions of dollars in data centers and other technologies.
It is a terrible day on Wall Street right now. The Dow is down 491 points. This is CBS News.
It's one of the most successful law and justice programs in television history that continues to uncover the truth. 48 Hours, Saturday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
We have a difficult traffic situation on our hands, so we're just going to jump straight to that. In Renton, 405 northbound, we've got 3 lanes blocked just south of the Maple Valley Highway. There was a collision, lights and sirens, all of that. A backup of 2+ miles, and it's pretty thick at this point. Let's get some travel times. Renton to Bellevue right now is about 15 minutes. I'm actually surprised about that, so I'm not sure if I'm looking at that wrong or if people are just really playing nice with that merge because only one lane is getting by. It looks like there is a backup on 167 as a result as well. So give that a few extra minutes or take an alternate route to get through there. But it's a speed limit drive on 405 after that once you get up past the landing and into Bellevue. 405 southbound, there is a collision just south of 85th in Kirkland that has a short backup behind it. And I-5 is still a little bit congested getting in and out of downtown Seattle, but it's only maybe 1 minute behind speed limit. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. 3 years later, the city of Seattle will pay $29 million to settle a wrongful death lawsuit. This is for the family of Genevieve Kandula, a graduate student hit and killed by a Seattle police officer. KIRO 7 TV's Samantha Lomibao reports.
Started supervisor start fire for a struck pedestrian.
On January 23rd, 2023, Officer Kevin Dave was traveling at 74 miles per hour down Dexter Avenue while responding to an overdose call.
Instead of staying back where she should before crossing,
Officer Dave struck Kandula as she was crossing the street. Despite life-saving measures by first responders, Kandula died at the scene. Seattle City Attorney Erica Evans reacted to Wednesday's settlement, saying, quote, John V. Kandula's death was heartbreaking, and the city hopes this financial settlement brings some sense of closure to the Kandula family.
A 21-year-old man is behind bars accused of selling explicit images of a teenage girl on Reddit. Mukilteo police arrested him Tuesday morning in South Everett after months of investigation. Police say he made more than $9,000 selling those images. The Herald reports the suspect faces several felony charges. Heads up, drivers, one of the busiest I-5 overpasses in the Seattle area is about to close. The 145th overpass will be closed between March 19th and 31st. The city's building a 2-lane roundabout on the east side of I-5, but bicyclists and pedestrians will still be able to cross the freeway. Let's get a check of your weather. Staying dry today, but get ready for rain coming back tomorrow and Saturday with highs in the high 40s. 42 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Grateful that you guys are hanging out with the Gee and Ursula Show. I would have asked Ursula this, but I didn't want to ask her before we got on the show because then she'd be prepared.
Oh.
And I like...
You like to throw me off.
I like Ursula when she's unprepared.
Uh-huh.
So, well, I mean, I'm unprepared for what I'm going to say. By the way, it's not hard to be unprepared for what I'm going to say because I'm a loose cannon. But, you know, Ty Milton said something. And I want to ask you about it.
Uh-huh.
Ty Milton, he sent us some grades. And by the way, a lot of you all have sent us grades for how we've been doing today. Appreciate that. But he sent us a grade. And it's not the grade, it's what he said. He said, I want to give a special mention to Ursula's fierce fact-checking and looking for the truth, the facts. And so my question is that you've been doing this now going on 38 years.
Mm-hmm.
How come, in your opinion, it seems like, from my view, that people start your way, like as far as looking for the facts and looking for the truth and fact-checking and, oh my goodness, I was wrong. Hey, I did this wrong. Why do you think that you stayed doing it that way, considering that we are seeing time and time again where people stop going that way and it feels like they go and chase the money? Why did you keep doing this?
Because I have to live with myself. Because I have a very strong conscience, guilty conscience if I don't feel like I'm doing the right thing. And ultimately, I mean, the greatest thing for me is if someone says, I believe you, I believe you're honest, I respect you, that is the greatest compliment for me.
Even if they disagree with you.
Even if they disagree with me.
Right.
And I have no problem admitting if I'm wrong. We've had a few people texting in saying, if you don't care what administration it is with these Epstein files, then you should be saying this about the Biden administration. And I say yes. Yes. The Biden administration, the Obama administration, whatever administration had information about what was going on that horrible island, I don't care who it is. Right. But we should all collectively say, again, that we want the truth.
Right. Yeah. Well, I just was wondering that because I see a lot of times, like, I see the Megyn Kellys of the world, and I shouldn't pick on anyone, but I'm being serious when I say this. Like, I almost just like what happens? What happens to people that's like they start off one way? As a matter of fact, I went down a rabbit hole on Pam Bondi. Like, Pam Bondi wasn't like this before. So what ends up happening?
So a number of things. One is trying to protect yourself. A lot of times people are acting out of fear. I am at the point in my career. I'm at a very different point in my career. And I say that as someone who is closer to retirement versus someone who's trying to
Do you think that there would be...
Would I have acted any differently? No. In fact, I was given opportunities where I could have made more money, but I made choices that didn't bring me more money, but made me be able to live with myself better, if that makes any sense. I mean, there was a point in time when we had a very strong, viable competitor in this market, and they were trying to lure everybody in our newsroom to work over there, and I stayed here. So loyalty means something to me as well. But, I mean, we're getting deep.
I just wanted to ask, I was just seriously, I saw Ty Milton said that, and a lot of people say that about you. And as a matter of fact, sometimes we'll make a mistake at 10:30 and find out it wasn't, like, oh, we messed up. And you spend your entire time freaking out about, hey, at 11 o'clock, we got to make sure that we got to let them know. We got to let them know we got it wrong. And I wonder if anybody else freaks out like that when they get it wrong. They're like, hey, I just want to tell you guys.
You don't need to freak out like me, but you should care. I mean, we should all care, and I think if we all cared, we would be in a much better position instead of always trying to resort to, okay, let's move to our camp.
Do you think the people that choose not to, I don't want to say alternative facts, but do you think they don't care?
No, I'll tell you what happens.
What happens?
I think a lot of times it's also motivated by money. You have said over and over again, if you took certain positions a certain way and did a certain, as a black man in America and took a different position than you do, it would be much more lucrative. But could you live with yourself? And I think there are people who are putting away their journalistic integrity. They are putting away a lot of things because they get addicted to what happens when you grow your tribe and they are paying for, their subscriptions or whatever. Suddenly you've got 1 million followers and it gets very addictive. I'm not in that phase of for me, I just need to be able to do what I love to do and live with myself. Okay, that went really deep.
All right. I apologize. All right. What are we going to do next on the show? Let's go.
Top stories at 11.
On the Gee and Ursula Show.
Okay, we're about to get real serious here because this is a story. This is another story.
More serious than we were?
Yes. Yes, because we're going to talk about the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie.
Okay.
And the very latest in that. And it sounds like the search for the mother of the Today Show anchor, Savannah Guthrie, has now gone into its second week. Hundreds of agents are combing the Arizona desert. They're knocking on doors across Tucson. As you know, and as we've been reporting, she was taken against her will the night of January 31st. There was blood found on her porch. It was confirmed to be hers. And then recently, and of course with all the Super Bowl parade coverage, et cetera, we really haven't talked about this. There was that new surveillance video that shows a masked person tampering with her doorbell camera just before she disappeared. And before, you've seen that video, right?
I have.
Yeah. So what were your thoughts on that when you saw that video?
Okay, look, it feel like today I have to explain everything that I do. And not just to you listening. Sometimes I got to explain it to Ursula, too. It's because Ursula asked me a question on the topic, and she doesn't know my opinion on it. And a lot of times with this whole fact-checking things, Ursula does not like, how can I say this? She doesn't tell me not to say things, but sometimes Ursula can get uncomfortable if I say things in a certain way, and sometimes she's not used to it. Then in a roundabout way, she'll come back maybe a few days later like, yeah, you know what, G, you were kind of right about that. So I'm about to do that.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So I'm about to do that again. So I just want to apologize to you, Ursula, and to the listeners.
Uh-oh.
Boy, there's something stank with this whole Guthrie case. This seems absolutely weird. I have no experience in this world, but I'm just giving my opinion. Something seems weird. This whole ransom thing and you need to pay this and the whole and how many times they've the Guthrie family has come out and hey, asked this and yes, we will pay the money. Like Savannah Guthrie is someone that's worth a lot of money. And here's where I'm going with this, Ursula. I think that whatever has happened tragically in this situation, which is a very awful thing, nobody 84 years old, nobody any age should be winding up missing, especially this precious 84-year-old. This is awful. But whoever and whatever has happened, I don't think that this is like everybody's with all these conspiracy theories and what about she interviewing? I think it is very close. I think it is very simple. And I think whoever did it knows the people, knows the family, and is closer than we think. Something really stinks about this. Do I think it is all technically with the ransom? I just don't believe this stuff. I think the whole ransom thing is to make people like me and you, and a lot of folks that you're seeing, get on there and say, oh, well, did you hear Savannah Guthrie years ago? She interviewed these people. And what about this? And all of these theories are coming out. I think it is way simple.
It's what happens. I mean, remember what happened with the murders of those 4 Idaho students and how everyone became a detective and everyone's got their theory as to what happened.
Yeah.
And there was information. Now, did you know that investigators did briefly detain someone?
Yeah, the delivery driver.
Yeah, exactly.
Bless his heart.
Yeah,
He's like, I don't know nothing.
Yeah, exactly. So then his mom was being interviewed and he was interviewed. So this is CBS's Andres Gutierrez.
A white tent has gone up in front of Nancy Guthrie's house. We should not read too much into it. Likely very much part of the investigative process. Something that detectives out there have been dealing with over the last few days have been the eyes of the media. There are some pieces of evidence that you simply don't want the public to know about.
And some evidence includes a black glove that was recovered near the home. Investigators searching roads around the neighborhood located a black glove, possibly even a second one, and then sent it in for DNA testing. And, of course, they don't know if it belongs to the alleged kidnapper. I mean, when watching that video, to me, it just looked like this person didn't know exactly what they were doing. Remember, they were grabbing the plants to cover the camera. And I think that there are people. There was yet another ransom note sent in. And that one was someone saying, we know who did it. Right. And give us now Bitcoin and we'll give you the information. And I think what I'm hearing you say is you think it's a lot closer to the circle.
I think it's a lot closer to circle. I'll tell you what was weird either. I mean, I hope I don't get fired, but I thought it was weird that Savannah Guthrie and them got on there and was like, okay, we'll pay the ransom. Huh?
She's being told, okay, hold on. What I've heard from experts, she is being told she is working with law enforcement. I mean, she's working with law enforcement, specifically FBI and others who know in these kinds of situations how to try to appeal to the kidnapper, how to. I mean, she is a professional communicator. She doesn't normally talk like that.
Well, speaking of...
they're giving her very specific things to say.
Well, speaking of professional, I mean, they could have handled the delivery driver situation a lot better than what they did. Am I right?
Well, based on what he said, I mean, he said basically he wasn't read any rights. He was just, I mean, you know, yeah, was it because he was a delivery driver and was delivering in the Tucson area? Did someone look at those pictures and say, it looks like him? Yeah. I mean, but this is one of those cases where the whole country is involved and everyone thinks they're a detective.
Right. And listen, I'm not
and we're not detectives.
And I'm not detectives. All I'm saying is something, it feels for me, something stinks about all of this. And I don't think it is as big. When I say as big, some of the conspiracy theories being, oh my goodness, Savannah Guthrie, she interviewed these folks.
Yeah,
Savannah Guthrie,
I hear what you're saying.
politically,
yes.
she feels this way. And it could have been, nah. This is a lot more simpler than that, closer than that. And I know that if there's one thing that Dateline, Keith Morrison, and all of them have taught me over the years, it's either money, insurance, relationships, right? You know what I mean? Those kind of things.
Yeah.
In this case, something tells me money.
Well, clearly they're and Bitcoin, which is the other weird thing about this.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on.
Okay.
Because we're not going to solve it.
Nope.
But on a scale of 1 to 10, how worried are you about robots? Because, and I ask it that way.
10. 10.
Because if it's not 10, you might be changing your tune after you listen to this. So this is Microsoft's AI CEO, Mustafa Suleyman, who says that most, if not all, professional tasks undertaken by white-collar workers today will be fully automated by AI within the next 12 to 18 months. So listen to this.
You talk about superintelligence. Most of your rivals talk about AGI, artificial general intelligence. Explain the difference between AGI and superintelligence.
I prefer the definition that focuses first on what would it take to build a system that could achieve most of the tasks that a regular professional in a workplace goes about on a daily basis. Think of it as a professional grade AGI.
How close are we?
I think that we're going to have a human level performance on most, if not all, professional tasks. So white collar work where you're sitting down at a computer, either being, you know, a lawyer or an accountant or a project manager or a marketing person. Most of those tasks will be fully automated by an AI within the next 12 to 18 months. And we can see this in software engineering. Many software engineers report that they are now using AI-assisted coding for the vast majority of their code production, which means that their roles shifted now to this meta function of debugging, scrutinizing, of doing the strategic stuff like architecting, of, you know, et cetera, putting things into production. So it's a quite different relationship to the technology. And that's happened in the last 6 months.
Mr. Solomon, that's quite the prediction.
You know, okay, all right, hold on. So for some reason today, I like pulling back the curtains to let y'all really know how the sausage is made here on the Gee and Ursula Show and just the things that we kind of go through. Ursula, these topics right here make you extremely uncomfortable, it feels like. And it seems like when you hear Mr. Solomon say something like that, like, hey, this is the potential, this can happen, and a large part of you be like, no, it's not.
Prove me wrong. Prove it.
Yeah.
I do automatically say it, because to say that all, or most, if not all, professional tasks done by white-collar workers will be fully automated by AI in the next 18 months. I get it that AI is changing things very quickly. But remember, I mean, when I started working in radio, people were telling me that radio is going to go away in the next 5 years.
Okay, but
it took a little longer.
Okay, well, since you talk about bringing up radio, go ahead and tell the people right now. You worked in a damn sweatbox.
Yes, I did.
And what was your job in there, Ursula?
I was splicing tape.
Splicing tape.
Recording on cart machines. Yeah, all those. All that equipment does not exist today.
It doesn't even exist. Wait.
No.
If somebody would have told you in your little sweatbox, hey, Ursula, just so you know, what you're working on right now, it won't even exist.
Yes.
So that would be
I also would have then at that time said, Prove it to me. It took a little longer, but those things don't exist.
Okay. You said it took a little longer.
Yeah.
That's the difference
Yes.
with what we are now. AI is going to be way faster than the whole internet thing. The internet took a little while, but once it got going, it's going. Sophia, just now, we just talked to my man, Eric.
Yes.
That was, that social media, technology, internet. Sophia, she comes to the show. She does a little technology. This AI is serious.
I know. And I think it's really important to hear from Sophia because, we're a little longer in the tooth, G. Okay, I'll speak for myself. But Sophia pointed out that maybe, like right now, AI to me is, I'm using it for everything from recipes to help me plan out my party on Sunday.
Profile pics.
Yeah. And I'm having a good time with AI. But you have a love-hate relationship with it.
Yeah, because I think, at least from my perspective, for you, it's like this is a great tool that you're able to utilize. For me, I'm seeing it in real time being like, okay, how can I get ahead of AI? And I don't want to encourage people to become reliant on AI because it's just going to make life harder for me in the future. We don't know what the job market's going to be. I don't even know what the world will look like for me if we're only dependent on AI. So I'm very cautious about depending on AI in my everyday life.
Okay, fair. Can I ask this question? Heidi in North Bend said, I work at Microsoft, and this is not going to happen. Our co-pilot in AI sucks, and people in the company don't even want to use it. Okay, thank you, Heidi. But real quick.
Okay, Heidi, that was funny.
Can we admit one thing? Do you guys think that either AI has either had humans lose a job or prevent them from getting jobs today, currently? AI.
Right now?
Yes.
Absolutely.
There are more who are losing their jobs because of AI.
Okay.
Right now.
And AI resume scanners, I don't think is helping anyone get a job because no one's reading resumes anymore.
Oh, don't tell Ursula that. Hey, coming up next here on the show, agree to disagree.
Seattle and the 12s throw a party or what?
They're thinking there could be up to 1 million 12s for this parade.
We're the best in the world! You hear me?
Me and so many others remember taking my kid to the parade 12 years ago. And now another generation gets to share that.
Home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Hey, we not done. We coming back next year.
KIRO News Radio.
Hi, I'm Jen from Sky Nursery. If you're like me, you're itching to get out in the garden and get your hands in the soil. So check out Sky's full schedule of gardening events to help you get ready for spring. Learn about pruning fruit trees, tips for roses, a 2-day Wonders of Willow festival, hanging basket workshops, and more. Want to grow your own vegetables? I'll be sharing insights from 2 decades of veggie gardening in the Northwest. Anyone can do it. Learn more and get ready for spring at skynursery.com.
Landlords, things are changing. New laws, higher costs, less flexibility. Selling without a tax plan can be a very unpleasant surprise. John Curley here. Madrona Financial is hosting free in-person landlord workshops to help you understand your rental performance and how to sell tax efficiently. Workshops are Tuesday the 17th at 3 p.m. at UW-Tacoma and Wednesday the 18th at 3 p.m. at Bellevue College. Seats are limited. Reserve at madronafinancial.com or call 833-673-7373.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Let's talk about artificial intelligence.
I cannot answer that.
Many professions are using it, and allegedly some are even being taken over by it. At 1-800-DUI-AWAY, we know police are leveraging AI, whether it's analyzing body cam footage, reading license plates, or even facial recognition. AI has become a helpful tool, enabling officers to work more efficiently. And efficiency for them means more people getting pulled over. You can't chat GPT your way out of a high BAC. Getting legal advice from AI is no substitute for an attorney. Use AI correctly, or it can result in trouble, like a self-driving car taking you home from a bar.
You have reached your destination.
So call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com. If you get pulled over for DUI, the only thing you need your smart device to do is call 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Olympic Hot Tub Super Smart Top Special is here. Hey, it's Ryan Roland Smith. This is your chance to save now on your new hot tub and get a free smart top worth $3,700. Take it from me because I have one. Smart Top is the ultimate cover for your tub. Strong, long-lasting, and ready to defend your tub against northwest weather. Super Smart Top special savings will make you feel, well, super. Details at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
This is Lynn. She's always been active, maybe a little too active back in the day.
When I was 19 years old and immortal, I stripped out all my ligament and I had to have 6 knee surgeries, and that's on my right knee. And then my left knee finally gave out and had a torn meniscus.
Years of pain followed until she saw Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I'm 4 months out and I have no pain in my knees, and I have had knee pain my whole life. I have no concept of what it was like without pain. It's a miracle. I'm totally thrilled.
No pain, no limits.
Dr. Wagner gave me the green light to ski again this year. I'm like, that's incredible. So I'm just so excited.
After years of surgeries and setbacks, Lynn finally got her freedom back.
I think he saved my legs, so saved my knees, and gave me at least another 10, 15 years to do what I want to do.
If joint pain is holding you back, find out what stem cell therapy could do for you with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
That's another amazing run by Team USA.
Mom, think I'll be on Team USA one day?
Well,
I'll take this one.
what? Are you speaking to us?
Yes, and to answer your question, anything's possible, especially with Xfinity.
So I can be the best snowboarder ever?
Well, I can't guarantee that, but Xfinity can guarantee that your internet price won't change for 5 years.
Okay. What if I practice every day?
Then maybe you'll be snowboarding for Team USA at the next Olympic Winter Games. And Mom, you'll still be paying the same price for Wi-Fi.
Ooh, really stuck the landing there.
It's the Xfinity Gold Medal Celebration. Now through February 22nd, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed, just $50 a month. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. That's a $10.99 value per month. Xfinity. Imagine that. Proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Actual speeds vary.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. The immigration crackdowns in Minnesota are coming to an end. Here's Border Czar Tim Homan.
There are some issues here. We fixed those issues. We've had great success with this operation, and we're leaving Minnesota safer.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz.
The federal government needs to pay for what they broke here. There are going to be accountability on the things that happen, but one of the things is the incredible and immense costs that were borne by the people of this state.
He says those costs include lost and interrupted business and the lives of American citizens Renee Good and Alex Preddy. Homan says he hopes for greater cooperation from local law enforcement there and in other cities to avoid future federal surges. With the FIFA World Cup just a few months away, Democratic Congresswoman Nellie Poe asked the head of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement to keep ICE away from the games.
You realize that if they feel that they're going to be wrongfully incarcerated or wrongfully pulled out, that's going to hurt this entire process.
Yes, ma'am, and ICE is dedicated to ensuring that everyone that visits the facilities will have a safe and secure event.
Seattle is also going to have some of those games. April Putney is with our World Cup committee. She says she's been in touch with the White House.
They have responsibilities in terms of preventing human trafficking and things like that. And that is the way that they are showing up there. And so that's what we're expecting to happen here.
outcry after the National Park Service took down a pride flag at Stonewall National Monument in New York. That's the site of an inn that sparked the gay rights movement decades ago and birthed international pride marches. Here's Assemblyman Tony Simone.
We're not going anywhere. We will grow in numbers. Get off your couches. We need to rise up in this nation. LGBT allies, immigrants, the other, those that they're trying to suppress for their fascism.
Park staff says they did it under guidance from the Department of Interior, which said non-agency flags cannot be officially displayed. Now we're going to check in with KIRO News Radio real-time traffic, and the thing that we have been monitoring has improved. 405 northbound, just through the Renton S-curves, there is a collision, and it still is blocking, but we're looking like the left two lanes have reopened while the HOV remains blocked, and that's near the Maple Valley Highway in Renton. Incident response, state patrol and fire crews are on the scene. Luckily, there's not a lot of volume. Renton to Bellevue right now is just 16 minutes. We do have a very thick backup from 167 back almost all the way to the I-5 merge. It looks like something else might be blocking there. I can't quite tell because of the cameras. There is also a backup on the 167 merge and then back onto 167. This report brought to you by the KIRO News Radio app. Text app to 888-973-5476 to download the KIRO News Radio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. Staying dry today, but prepare for rain tomorrow. Rain, 48 degrees for the next 2 days. It's 42 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
It is 11:34. You're listening to the Gee and Ursula Show, and boy, did it fly today. It is time for us to agree to disagree, brought to you by Guardian Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves, just really go at it.
You know that song that Nick was playing right there? Nick, that thing gives me anxiety. That song.
Really?
Yeah,
Little
man.
Fergalicious?
Fergalicious gives you anxiety?
Yeah, I don't know what that was. It's just okay. Man, I wouldn't want to get ready to rush out to the house. Oh man, I forgot my keys.
Get you a little amped up over there.
I forgot to put on some drawers today. This is anxiety.
I don't know. It seems like you have some PTSD to 2005. Fergalicious.
All right.
People have memories to Fergalicious.
How old were you in 2005?
What do you think? I was 3. A good old 3.
Don't even think of asking.
No, but
had a couple of years under my belt.
But see, that's the thing. I keep telling you, these kids are smart. How the heck she gonna know what? How's she gonna know about that? You know what I mean? And the fact that she's like, oh, I was 3 years old.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
What do you got, Sophia? You know I'm just random.
Yeah, I know you are. And that's kind of what I was thinking about, because you've been firing things up this morning. I see you. You're setting up traps. You've been trying to get us to get to your brain. So, now I'm going to challenge you. Because earlier this week, when Ursula wasn't here, you were, talking about how young people are a little dramatic for wanting a better work-life balance. So I'm going to introduce this to you. So riddle me this a little bit. All right, G? So the concept, I'm going to talk about side gigs. The concept of a side gig has been a part of society for a while. But what used to be something that people would be like, you're a hustler if you have another job, is now just the norm for everyone. Yeah. A recent Harris poll shared that 57% of Gen Z Americans have a side hustle. Right. And partly for financial, but also a lot of them are saying it's about passion. That if you aren't doing something else beyond your normal job, you just don't feel okay. And I can attest to this. I know so many people who have side gigs, not even just because they need it to financially survive, but because they need it to mentally survive. And we all know, y'all especially, that when you get home at the end of the day, you're not necessarily clocking off in the same way that you used to, because everything is readily available by email, by texting, by phone. So my question is for you, G, is Gen Z really being dramatic, asking for a work-life balance, or really are we just trying to find a way to get off the clock?
Well, I'm telling you, in Gen Z, you can't afford the old school work-life balance of before. That's what I'm saying. Housing affordability is crazy through the roof. And you talk about work-life balance, let me ask you this. Your cell phone bill, your Netflix bill, your car bill, your insurance bill, and your rent bill. Tell me, what time of the month do they take a break? What time do they take work-life balance? All I'm saying is that, yes, you need to continue to work. And by the way, what else you gonna do? You work 8 hours at one job. What you gonna do the rest of the 8 hours?
Well, I just said so many of them also have side hustles. So, and when you're done with that side hustle, what do you want them to have? 3 hours? They're just asked. They can't even clock out because you're still on your phone. You still have work coming through. Maybe in 1983 you could go home and never look at your phone again.
Exactly. In 1983, 1993, folks could go home. It would be one income that took care of the house, and they can go home and they'd have peas and potatoes and pork chops and or liver and onions back in the day, or they had a countryman's microwave meal if they were single, had a divorce, on a tray, and then they just sit around and they watch TV, all of the family, and then they go to bed at 9 o'clock and they repeat. And before you know it, they work for the same company for 40 years. They get a Kool-Aid party and a damn gold watch at the end. They retire and then they die.
Ursula, what do you think?
Okay, I'm going to save G from himself, and I'm going to actually speak on behalf of your generation, because you should be able to clock out at some point. And I am not of the mindset that your generation is lazy, entitled.
Wait, I wasn't saying lazy. I never said that once, Nick, did I?
Okay.
I didn't hear lazy.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Or that you are not successful if you don't have a main job and 3 side hustles. G is unusual.
You can't breathe if you don't. Nick, can you have one job?
These days, for young people, it's very tough. Yes.
Come on, Ursula.
It is very tough. But I would say what you're doing today, and I'm going to say to you, G, I'm going to say to you, Nick, and Sophia, I think you've got it right, because I don't think you're doing 3 jobs, but you have made yourself extremely valuable in this building by not only doing one thing. You're very well versed at social media. You're working with our, the big push that we have on the digital side. And I say all this because you need to have some kind of life balance. And I say this as the person who was taken out of here in a stretcher.
Ursula,
and I joke and I laugh about that, but it's very, very real, because you can work yourself literally to death.
And
no one is going to care.
The thing is, Ursula, I believe that you want these for the kids. I believe that you heard the song, I believe the children are our future. Teach them well, then let them lead the way.
Yes, I do.
Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Now, and you can say all that. You can sing the damn songs, and you can say all that. But the young kids, Nick and Sophia, are asking you, then why is the federal minimum wage still $7.25?
Because you don't want to live in a state where it's not here. I mean, the state minimum wage here is over $20. So yes, in some states.
How's $20 an hour here?
It's taken a bit to stretch.
The cost is outpacing that wage.
I know, but this is why I would tell you to keep working in yourself into a position where you don't have to do three different hustles. Right? So you're just going to keep reinventing yourself or finding a way to make yourself recession-proof. This is the advice that I give my sons as well. Mm-hmm. And I've got one who literally, I have to tell him, dude, you're working yourself to death. And unfortunately, he said, yeah, I learned from you, Mom. And I'm telling you.
Even dog.
Yeah, and I'm telling him over and over again, no one is going to care when you have to go to the hospital and it turns out to be a panic attack versus an actual heart attack, thank God. But again, you have to have some kind of balance. Work. Have a relentless work ethic, but find those times to actually take a break.
You know what? Let me tell you. I'm at the point in my marriage right now. I'm glad I got a wife that's like, that dude is nuts. There is no balance with him. And that's just it. And I think the reason I'm the way I am, because I tell you what I don't want to do. I can't be like I was before, because I don't know if I can make it through that. So I think what Ursula's saying is right. I think what I'm saying is right. And I think whatever you all say, Gen Z, you guys got to figure it out. But I truly believe that life is harder for you today than it ever was for us back in the day. And what I mean by that, I'm talking about, You talk about even the millennials right now. Millennials right now are living through a time where jobs are being replaced by AI, unaffordable housing. Like Nick just said, you got housing costs and living costs outpacing wages. You got $1.7 trillion in student loan debt. We've had a global pandemic just 6 years ago. We had 4 recessions so far. We've had 7 stock market changes, and some of y'all ain't even 45.
And on that note, don't we just deserve a little time to just
Yes, you do.
be happy and
Yes,
enjoy
you
our
do.
lives
You
as
do.
well?
And
I
you
don't
should-
think it all needs to be stress and doom.
And look
Thank
here.
you. Exactly, Sophia. That is a healthy way to approach it.
And when does that bill come in the mail and say, Sophia, I want you to be happy, but I need that money by the 3rd or your lights are cut off.
You know,
Sophia's figuring it out at the
I have a
tender age
story
of
about
23.
that, but I'll tell you guys later.
I gotta make a correction.
What?
State minimum wage in Washington, $17.13 an hour, but in Seattle it's $21.30 an
I
hour.
believe the children are our future. Coming up next, text messages, feedback, and then we'll have Ursula's words to live by.
This is what it's all about, right?
The Seahawks win Super Bowl 60.
The pure joy.
To beat the Patriots, especially in the 49ers stadium, it means everything.
It's a great time to be alive for Seattle fans.
It's why we're 12s.
Just like Mike McDonald said, we did not care.
We got a parade to get to.
Seattle will hold a victory parade Wednesday.
We are the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
KIRO Newsradio.
Our family doesn't just buy cars from Carter Subaru. We stick with them. We are repeat customers. I, right now, am driving an Outback, and my husband drives a Forester. And the reason is simple. We keep going to Carter Subaru because they care about people, their customers, their employees, and the community. They have been part of this community for decades. And what I love about Carter Subaru, you're not dealing with any pressure. They don't do sales games, just honest conversations and a team that treats you like you are going to be back because they know you will be. Carter is Seattle's only Subaru dealership with over 700 Subarus on the lot, the biggest selection in Washington. And for a limited time, you can get the 2025 Subaru Crosstrek starting at 2.9% financing. Carter Subaru in Shoreline or Ballard or cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 3/2/26.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our clients' portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss. At the UPS Store, we know being a small business owner means holiday time is still go time. still get those orders shipped time, and still re-up on stamps and supplies time. That's why this upcoming holiday, while others close up shop, we'll be open and happy to help you keep being unstoppable. Come into your local store today. Most locations are independently owned. Product services, pricing, and hours of operation may vary. See Center for details. The UPS Store. Be unstoppable.
Are you stuck staring at your W-2? Are tax refund worries holding you back? You probably have FOMO, the fear of messing up. The fix? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. It's time to overcome your fear of messing up and get your taxes done right. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
You know, it's frustrating. You work your tail off for 40 plus years. The government takes 30 or 40% in taxes. Then they turn right around and waste it. Americans are getting fed up, and that's why they're taking advantage of tax planning. Charlie Harger here. Tax planning could significantly reduce your taxes, not just for 1 year, but for the rest of your life. Learn how much you could save in taxes when you retire with free retirement tax savings analysis from Boss Retirement Solutions. If you've saved more than $300,000, schedule your free analysis now by calling 206-210-1350. Don't pay the government one more dime than you need to. You need to call the team at Boss Retirement Solutions. Call 206-210-1350. 206-210-1350.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice.
3-time Grammy winner, MacArthur Fellow, a voice the Associated Press calls a marvel. Cecile McLaurin Salvant brings jazz, blues, and fearless originality to Dimitro's Jazz Alley, February 12th through 15th. Tickets at jazzalley.com.
Drivers who switch their home and auto with Progressive could save money and time. Other things try to do this, but they really don't. Like the touchscreen at fast food places. It's not like you save time because it takes you longer to use a touchscreen than, I don't know, someone who works there. And another thing, you'd think it would save money because they're not paying a cashier, right? But no, same price. Also, why is there an option to tip? Who am I tipping? Exactly. Anyway, even if you can't save money and time with some things, you could with a Progressive home and auto bundle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's the Gee and Ursula Show. Hey, you know what? I noticed a lot of people was excited about Sophia. They're excited. Yeah. They're excited saying, hey, Sophia, you know what? Stand your ground.
Yeah, they love her positivity,
They love her positivity.
Yep.
All that good stuff.
She's a tough cookie.
Tough cookie.
Don't I have to be?
Yes.
Yes, you do.
You work in this business, yeah.
Yeah, you do. Ursula, you know I ain't got that news boss open. What you got?
Okay, but given how much you've worked, honestly, in the last 2 weeks,
right.
I'm going to give you grace.
Well, I don't know. Does he get that work-life balance? that news boss balance?
Okay, on G's great return, Armin in the 425 says, G was looking like Idris Elba DJing a rave.
Hey!
That's a compliment.
Wait a minute, Armin, is that Layla's son?
Yes.
Yeah.
We've got both her sons listening now.
Wait,
they
both
are
of them?
Sophia's age range, yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
All right, appreciate that compliment.
We get
nice.
excited when we have listeners in their 20s.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's Sophia and Nick bringing the 20s folks in here.
Yes, that's right.
What you got?
Robin in the 206 says, thank you for not being selfish, G, and being in studio today. You could have been, and you were not. We, your fans, write you, and you wrote back. That's love for sure.
I always write y'all back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not all of us. Some of y'all on timeout forever. Just kidding.
Kyle in Maple Valley says, gee, it was so cool to see you covering the Hawks this week. Your joy and emotion were so authentic. You sound like a proud papa around all those young men. Thank you for representing the pride for all of us fans.
Yeah, you give context to that, but go ahead.
And then Josh in Auburn says, gee, catching this guy all in the fields today. Earlier with their topic on defending the kids and then talking about your dad and the moment. Yeah. I saw that 7-Eleven photo. Where can they find that again?
Go to G's Instagram.
Okay.
G Scott Senior. I'll be having a good time. Make sure you guys see my morning walks every day.
Okay.
You know, I do some stuff on there.
Yeah, that's true. And he says it's beautiful. Would have loved to experience quite a memorable moment from where you stood. On the flight attendant story, Paul in 253 says, your flight experience reminded me of a similar experience that I had a few years back. I was in the middle seat, and the young woman next to me had just found out her sister had died. I asked about her sister and if she had people meeting her at the airport. I held her hand. It's all about being there for others when they need it. Melissa in the 253 says, thank you so much for the guest speaker sharing his side of the airline travel story. Love hearing the perspectives of feel-good stories from our everyday heroes. So true, and we need to share more of them. Kindness equals hope. Give us more goodwill stories, please.
Right.
And then on side hustles, Stephen in Issaquah wanted to know, is Ursula still doing her matchmaker side hustle? To which I said yes, but I'm holding on to hope that one currently is going to work out.
She's a lifer in that one. She ain't retiring from that.
Yep. And then how about Tom in the 425 says, balance is a decision. I've never had it, but I know that my children watched me and they're now finding balance in their lives. If that's the gift I give them, I will have given them everything they need. That is so true.
All right, Ursula, it's time for your words to live by. What you got for us today?
Well, based on what we were talking about, work-life balance, I'm going to quote Dolly Parton here.
Oh, what'd she say?
Don't get so busy making a living that you forget to make a life.
Hey, Dolly. Hey, Dolly, I love you now.
Uh-huh.
But let me tell you something, Dolly. When you said that, when you came up with that quote,
working 9 to 5.
I was going to say, that's ironic.
The cost of rent in Seattle, you know what I mean, for a 2-bedroom wasn't dang near $3,000.
Yeah, come see what it's like over here.
Come on, Nick, what you got, man?
I'm glad to say that yesterday's parade was great success while the team went through their journey on the road without a mess, and it wouldn't have lived up to all the hype we talked about without all the Seahawks faithful filling streets without a doubt. And you may have heard some fans out there who were yelling out G's name, while some thought the yell was C and Hawks was followed without shame. G-Hawks, Seahawks, potato. We'll let that one slide this time around.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, I'll tell you what.
It's already a Fresh Friday tomorrow.
It's already Fresh Fridays tomorrow. Sophia, you working with us tomorrow?
Sure will.
Oh, boy. Okay, can I make a request in the order? I need about 2 Gen Z, Gen X, baby boomers type story. Because the listeners love this conversation.
Yes.
Nick, do you like these conversations too?
Yeah, but you just want to feel young, don't you? You want to hear those stories. Mm-hmm. But you get brought back to Fergalicious, that scares you a bit. All right.
All right, good one, Nick. Thanks, Ursula.
Appreciate
you, Sophia. Thank you. Have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow. Nick, appreciate you, man.
You too, man.
The Jake and Spike Show comes in next. Stick around. Appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.
Hope you have as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. Northwest News.
Do you like helping others? Become a Shiva volunteer. In Pierce County, join the hundreds of volunteers across Washington state who help over 90,000 people each year with their Medicare options and questions. You don't have to know Medicare. We'll teach you. And if you're bilingual, even better. For more information and how to apply, call Shiva at 1-800-562-6900 or go to insurance.wa.gov.
Sponsored by the Office of the Insurance Commissioner and aired by the Washington State Association of Broadcasters and this station.
It's
clogged again.
Your drain?
Just had it cleared.
You didn't call Apollo Plumbing.
How can you tell?
Because your drain's clogged again.
So frustrating.
We can clear that drain.
That's what the last guy said.
We'll clear it, guaranteed.
He said that too.
Apollo Plumbing will clear your drain, or it's free.
Wait, what?
Apollo Plumbing clears your drain.
Or it's free?
Yep.
What's the catch?
No catch.
Fine print?
Apollo Plumbing clears your main drain for $83.
$83, or it's free?
And we'll even give you a camera inspection.
Because?
It's the best way to find what's causing your clog.
But that's extra.
Nope, included.
No extra charge?
Not 1 cent.
$83, or it's free.
All it takes is an accessible outside cleanout.
And an Apollo plumber.
No clog is safe from Apollo Plumbing.
And just like that, my main drain is...
Draining again.
How can you...
Apollo plumbers are that good.
83, or it's free.
You call, we come.
My drain's draining again.
Guaranteed.
83, or it's free.
As it should be.
Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Hey everyone, Hartley Wilcox here. And I'm Charlie Wilcox from Wilcox Family Farms. Our family's been raising hens and gathering fresh eggs right here for over 100 years.
That's right. Our hens roam free on green pastures, soaking up the sunshine and living their best chicken lives.
We don't do shortcuts. No cages, no chemicals, just honest-to-goodness eggs laid fresh every day.
And when you buy Wilcox eggs, you're not just getting breakfast. You're supporting local farmers like us. Clean food, and a family that's been doing it right for generations.
So next time you're at the grocery store,
skip the out-of-state eggs and grab the ones with our name on them.
Wilcox Family Farms. Fresh, local, trusted. Find fresh Wilcox eggs at Costco, Hagen's, or Whole Foods. And for a healthy snack on the go, grab some ready-to-eat hard-boiled eggs in a convenient to-go 2-pack. Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh since 1909.
File with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. TurboTax helps you get your biggest refund, and then Credit Karma helps you do more with it. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-507-9701. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-507-9701. That's 800-507-9701. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle.